Okay, hello. Welcome to session 0 of Pathfinder Gendermaker, which is going to be a running through of the Kingmaker module with charity donations with proceeds going towards gendered intelligence. This being session 0, this is going to be much more low-key, a lot more informal than pop sessions later on. So people, if they may be in chat, I'm probably not going to interact with them all that much because the focus is on getting everyone to know each other in and out of character, make sure that everything works, and then run through a short adventure which kind of gives the basics of Pathfinder mechanics, so that when we start the campaign in April, April the 12th is the current plan for it. Let me just check to make sure I'm not making that up. Sorry, no, April the 9th. The second Saturday of every month is the plan for the sessions going forward. Starting at 12, running until 3:30 in the afternoon with a 30-minute break halfway through, so around about the 1 to 1:30 mark, which lets everyone get lunch and all of the biological things that people need to do. So we'll start with our introduction. Pathfinder is set on the world of Golarion. In particular, this section of the world that we're focusing on in the Kingmaker module is called Brevoy, which is there used to be two big warring factions, which were the Aldorai's Sword Lords, which are a mixture between a warrior school and noble house, and House Sertova is the other major competitor, who are formerly a group of pirates who kind of leveraged their power to gain legitimacy that way. So initially, in the past, there was a house, I believe it was called Dragon Shield, which basically took over Brevoy entirely and forced fealty from both sides. And there was a peace because of that. But in more recent times, that house in its entirety has vanished. Every single member of the house just disappeared without explanation. And so because of that, there have been a lot of rising tensions between House Sertova and some of the city-states in Brevoy, who now see an opportunity to become independent. It's in that context that Jamandi Aldorai, the current head of her house, has scouted out adventurers and mercenaries for the purpose of claiming areas of land in a region known as the Stolen Lands. So the party that we have gathered here with us now are all people who have, through one way or another, caught the attention of the kinds of people who look out for adventurers and sent invitations to Restov, which is the free city of Restov, which is where Jomandi's Aldorai's mansion is located. So we begin our adventure heading into the banquet hall of Jomandi's mansion. You should hopefully be able to see all of your tokens. So heading into this place, this is as far as mansions go, this is quite practically designed. There are obviously signs of great wealth here. There's portraits of famous sword lords. There's, tapestries and decorations, but there's not the kind of excess that you might expect. There's not the kind of excess that you would expect from, a wealthy person's mansion that you might normally expect. There's, you can see when you pass a certain pillar, for example, you can see like marks left by swords in the stonework, indicating that sometimes this place is used as an impromptu combat arena. There's lots of signs that um, the the large tables in specifically the dining halls are moved around a lot, um, and um, as you're heading through, you pass by other groups of adventurers who seem to be, um, if not competitors specifically, but like on the same kind of vibe as you are. You pass by um, one particular group where you clock pretty quickly on that they're a mercenary company because they are too disciplined and heavily armored to be just another group of adventurers, but they're not in a uniform that would indicate that they're soldiers. Um, this group is led by um, a quite handsome-looking man with a few scars cutting across his face and kind of black hair with badger stripes tied into a bun, wearing a quite fancy-looking gambeson. He regards you with a polite nod as he and his group pass by you and head out somewhere else. Um, and you eventually find yourself into this banquet hall here, where things have been cleared out with a nice red carpet rolled out for you. So as you kind of make yourselves into a rough line sort of formation, we'll take the opportunity to uh, introduce each of the players here, um, give an opportunity for um, a brief description and what their deal is. Though, as I probably should have started us off with, my name's Alex. I use they or he pronouns, and I will be running things. So we're going to start off in no particular order with Garrick, please. Please describe yourself.
So Gereg is a fairly tall, kind of lanky but like corded muscle, half orc, sort of grey greenish sort of skin, and just this knotwork of scars and tattooing and war paints down various bits of skin that are visible. Um, some of which look ritualistic, other bits look almost like they're intended to break up an outline in sort of disruption pattern style. Wearing very sort of ragged but practical and layered sort of patches of leather and studded leather and furs and things like that, carrying a very heavy look, like fairly hefty curved sword and a short bow. Trailing not far behind him is a fairly sizable bull elk as well, also covered in similar sort of swirling war paints, almost like woad patterning. Garrick's also wearing a sort of Ushanka style hat with a pair of antlers crowning it.
So probably the first immediate thing you notice about the elk that's following Garrick is just how massive it is. This is clearly a pretty young, like juvenile elk, but it's already the size of a fully grown adult. It's big. Next up, we have Alina, please.
So Alina is a fairly tall, fairly broad woman. She's wearing sort of quite nice, but definitely not noble clothes. With sort of a brigandine breastplate and armor strapped over the top. On her back is a quite large round shield, which you can tell has been repainted recently to just be black. She's got like sort of, I hate using the term dirty blonde, but sort of dark blonde hair, and it's been held back by sort of like not quite a headband, more of a tie sort of deal. She's been, obviously, when she's been walking through this place, she's been here before. But very deliberately, almost like with a practice that, like, so inbuilt into her that she's not even aware of it. She's not walked on the red carpet once. Yeah, I think that's it.
Lovely. Next up, we have Mara.
Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm playing Mara. I use she, her pronouns. Mara stands significantly shorter than the rest of the party at a little under 3 feet. She is a halfling with sort of messy red hair tied back very haphazardly. The most significant thing that you notice about Mara's stature is that she is covered in sort of belts and straps filled with all kinds of weird bottles and pouches. She also has a piece of rather strange headgear on, which basically seems like a combination of protective goggles and a miner's headlamp, for reasons that she does not care to explain. Mara is constantly fidgeting and is almost bouncing on her toes, not necessarily with excitement, but more just because that's her natural resting state of energy.
Lovely. Next up, we have Jin.
Hi, I am Stuart. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Jin Thorngage. Jin is a cleric. He looks like he's just walked off the front line of a battlefield. He's in quite rough clothing, but like military style. He's wearing a helmet. Helmet's got like little sigils and like spirals drawn on it. He's quite gaunt. He's quite thin. He's not very tall. He's got like messy, reddy hair. Looks like a farm boy that went to war and has seen some crap. Is always a little bit haunted, but he's quite laid back and friendly.
Okay. And last, but by no means least, we have Gore. James, you're muted.
I don't know why I keep shouting I am muted, because clearly everyone knows that I am muted. So I'm James. I use he, him pronouns, and I am piloting Gore. Gore is a half-orc, probably one of the youngest members of the party, if not the youngest, clocking in at around about the age of 21. And he looks very young. Okay, he's still got sort of like almost like babyish face charm to him. He's also, if I was to describe him as a walking slab of muscle, that wouldn't be too far off a description of Gore. He is extremely well built, he is extremely muscly, but he looks pristine, almost like someone spends an undue amount of time and care making sure that before he left his house this morning, he was looking his best to go and speak to the nobles. Another thing that sort of like labours this idea that maybe he's a bit too over-prepared and keen for this is by the door when he walked in, he left an enormous pack with literally anything and everything you could imagine a mother might make their adult son leave home with, including pots and rope and soaps and apprentice carpenting tools and all sorts of other useless things that Gore really doesn't want to take with him, but feels like he must. He sort of stood there trying to look like imposing and heroic, but he's not really quite sure what he's doing. And it's mostly sort of like looking to the other group members of the party, probably mainly the half-orcs, to try and get like visual cues of what I'm meant to be doing right now. But you know, he's doing his best.
Lovely, thank you. So up on a slightly raised platform, you can see a huge banner of the representing the Sword Lords, alongside a desk which has maps of the region with X's and dotted lines dashed all over the place. Standing in front of it are two people that you can see. First is a human man with a sort of jovial disposition. He is dressed in extremely formal robes with like gold trimming, and gives you a friendly greeting as you as you approach forward. And he spreads out his arms and says, "Welcome, adventurers. I am Lord Mayor Eosif Salamius of this free city of Restov. I thank you for answering the call for what will prove to be a most unique reward. I wish you luck in your endeavors, and I will be proud to welcome you all back as heroes. Now, for the more practical side of things, I introduce Lady Shamandi Aldora, who will be giving you your mission." He gestures over to the half-elf woman who stands next to him. She is dressed in dress armor, with like a breastplate, a doublet underneath, and a sword at her hip, and scars that indicate that she has seen combat. She stands more like at attention than in a formal sense, and she regards the mayor with a nod and then passes her attention over to you and says, "Thank you, Lord Mayor. Now, to the point. South of here, just beyond Brevoy's border, lies a region known as the Stolen Land. This is disputed territory, and while it's long been claimed by nearby states, it's never been truly taken. I won't bore you with the legal technicalities. Suffice it to say that anyone with enough courage and power to seize the stolen lands and name themselves Baron or Baroness, claiming dominion, well, none of the neighbouring states would be able to challenge it. Of course, Rostov would be first to recognise the legitimacy of this new state, as well as the noble title of its founder. Unfortunately, one serious obstacle stands between you and this title. A gang of bandits holds sway in the stolen lands. Their chief, who they call the Stag Lord, considers himself the rightful owner of these lands, and no one has yet been able to challenge his power. Bring me his head, and you will be able to return to the stolen lands as their legal ruler. Any questions?"
Why does he call himself the Stag Lord?
Reports indicate not much in the way of a description of the Stag Lord himself, apart from the helmet that he wears, which appears to be partially made from a stag's skull. But unfortunately, the Stag Lord himself is very rarely seen. Part of the trouble of navigating the stolen lands will be finding his camp and finding more information about him. He is more defined by his reach than his appearance.
So what's the point in bringing his head back if you don't know what he looks like?
Very true. Make sure the helmet is attached to his head.
Okay.
You have any maps? Or, like, any idea what it looks like or where to find them?
The stolen lands are a difficult place to map. Only someone who lives there, she inclines her head respectfully towards Gore, is likely to have any real chance of successfully mapping the region. The writs of passage that we will grant you are for the purposes of mapping the region through. So any information that you can find while you're heading through this wilderness will be rewarded by Restov, depending on how thoroughly you're able to map the region as you go.
Okay. Also, what he said about the head and recognition, but he already said it, so ignore me.
Very good. We have sent other parties out to other areas within the Stolen Lands. The particular region that you will be going to is known as the Great Belt or the Shrike Hills. That will be the region that you will be mapping through, and they will serve as your borders if you are successful. One thing I do have to note: the political situation in Brevoy is somewhat tense at the moment. Although obviously you are not involved directly in these things, not being citizens of Bravo yourselves, with notable exceptions. But suffice it to say, the more quickly you are able to neutralize the Stag Lord as a threat, the better things will be for all parties concerned. If you take more than, say, 3 months or so, things may reach a point where we are not able to fully honor the deal. We are hoping that you are able to return victorious before then.
Okay.
So you're wanting efficiency and precision.
Precisely. That is why we have chosen the groups that we are sending out based on what we believe to be the most harmonious groups of people together.
I'm sure we'll get along all just splendidly. Gore starts like patting himself down, trying to work out where he left his map, and comes to realization it's probably in his pack. And is sort of looking anxiously towards it, trying to like subtly walk over towards where his bag is, but realizing the fact he's a 6'7" half orc, it's probably not that subtle.
Jamani draws out a series of scrolls, which she walks over and hands out to each of you. They are all stamped with the mark of the Eldora Swordlords, as well as the Free City of Restov, and form basically like a charter or a writ of passage, which I will show to you now. As she does this, she says, your contact within the Stolen Lands is a trader who operates a post on the northern edge of the Greenbelt. His name is Oleg, and has been requesting assistance from the city. You will form as the first wave of that support, while we gather resources to send our own people. Oleg knows the area well, and should be able to point you in the right direction to begin your search. Yes?
How do we recognise Oleg?
She will give a brief description of a gruff-looking human with ginger hair.
Little redhead.
She shows you she holds out a map of Brevoy, where she's basically drawn a route for you to follow, and it's pretty much a road that leads directly to the area that's marked as Oleg's trading post. For now, though, gather your things together, take a moment to get to know each other, and we have made arrangements for you to stay here for the night and provide you with some supplies to start you off. They will last you for a few days, and then you will need to be able to trade or forage for supplies from there. So I advise you to get to know Oleg quite well, because you will be relying on him. But for now, we will lead you to your accommodations, and you'll be able to start off fresh in the morning tomorrow. She pauses for a moment, kind of standing at ease, basically just to as a moment to wait for either further questions or preparations to leave, depending on which you choose.
See these other bands that are going out. Are we in competition with them? Should we be worried about them, or
Not at all. They're all being dispatched to a separate region in the Stolen Lands.
Okay.
When they have established themselves as states, and when you have as well, you are free to consider them as trading partners or allies. Prestop will acknowledge each of the states that emerge and consider them as equal partners, and I hope you will be able to do the same.
Don't see why not. I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'll head over and start picking up my stuff.
She makes a gesture, and kind of almost from nowhere, a gentleman appears in a full suit of dress plate with a noble sigil on it, which Alina will immediately recognize as the House Garrus. The man gives a crisp military salute and a friendly wink towards Alina, and says, "My name is Keston. Please follow me to your accommodations." And leads you through the main doors of the dining hall, and points out rooms as they go through, just to say, this is where the kitchen is located, this is the armory, and basically gives you a rough idea of where things are if you need them. In the sort of way that you would guide someone through your house to make sure that if they needed to get up in the middle of the night for a glass of water, they would know where to go. Down in the one of the bottom corners of the region of the mansion are 3 rooms that he has that have been laid out with fresh bedding and chests inside. And says, "Feel free to store any possessions in there. We have also placed your supplies in there already for you. If you do require anything, please don't hesitate to contact one of the servants. They'll be happy to help you."
Thanks.
Like, as he leaves, Alina winks at him.
He gives
Sorry.
he gives a short smile and another crisp salute, and then marches off with purpose, going off and leaving you to it.
Mara's going to sort of look up at Alina like, "I guess we're bunking then."
One day he'll learn how to wear real armor.
So let's. Okay, so inside each of the chests are very vague maps of the region, which kind of they start at Oleg's trading posts. They give a rough idea of the immediate area around there, but a lot of the rest of the maps are either blank or incomplete. There's not a lot of information on them. There's also these look like military rations, so nothing exciting or very tasty looking, but they look like the food that's built to last, and it will keep you going for a few days. You were given some free reign over the area to kind of move between the rooms, get to know each other, and settle in for the evening. At which point,
At which point, roll initiative.
I'm going to move you over to this map.
That's a
So
putting background.
yeah, I've had to jury rig these from the video game variant of it. So please ignore the giant gnome face. So in the early hours of the morning, you're awoken by. Oh, you should be.
Good job, Ed.
Well, as things move over on the stream side of things, because I've moved the players over, so hopefully the stream will catch up. But you're awoken to the sounds of screaming in the distant part of the mansion, which gives you enough time to kind of get up and prepare. Excuse me, but yes. So this is early morning, like around about dawn, and you are woken up by the sounds of screams and combat happening elsewhere in the mansion.
Oh no!
Gore actually looks kind of panicked, like unsure exactly what he's meant to be doing right now, as he's sort of putting his armor on and doing kind of what he's been told to do, but not quite sure what he should be doing right now.
I think Jin's getting his either getting the last of his gear on, and sort of starting to make his way towards it, but slowly as if he's like stalking it. Maybe checking the doors for the rest of the party to see who's awake and who's about, and trying to group everybody together.
Like,
Mara's
no.
gonna come. Sorry.
No, that's you.
Mara's gonna sort of come barreling out of her room, sort of still stuffing vials in pockets. And just whoever's already out there, if they've made the slice move to set off, she's just running off and like, wait for me, I've only got this legs.
Like, Alina notably was sleeping in her armor, and like essentially as soon as combat was like even vaguely initiated, Alina was out the door, like shield was up and on the arm, and her other arm is like carrying like the pack that she was holding. She has all of her worldly possessions and is ready to kill someone.
So from where you are, you can open up to see this T-shaped corridor, and you hear footsteps coming from the other side of this door here, from people who are they're clearly moving with purpose, but they are making an effort to try and conceal themselves.
I'm going to sort of. Can I hide around that corner?
Yep.
And have my crossbow pointed at the door.
Gore will step out of the room and see everyone sort of getting into position. He will loft his great axe and be kind of looking sort of like, what am I doing?
Garrett will literally kick his door out, no ceremony whatsoever. But like pretty much dressed exactly as he was before. There's like barely even a change in how he appears. Bow at the ready, sort of steps out as the elk sort of tentative is obviously sort of like curled up on the bed in his room. It looks like he hasn't actually been in his bed. The elk has been given the bed. Head raised up and just like looking out the door with his ears pricked, and he's like obviously poised to almost like gesture to the elk to call it forward if he needs to.
Hey Mara, have you got anything that'll surprise anybody coming through that door?
Oh yes.
So
Okay.
I think they're coming through the door anyway, so I'd rather they were surprised than we were.
Okay, so like, it's quite volatile. I'll have to make it as they come, before they come, but I can do it.
Okay. So.
I wonder if that makes me more scared or less.
So, Alina, as you're free to move yourself into position as well, you can hear muffled voices coming from the other side of the door.
I will move back slightly, and I will essentially knock over something as though someone was rushing around in a panic.
Okay.
Like in a very cat pushing something off a thing kind of way.
At that stage, kind of without warning, the door that you've been hearing the noises behind is roughly kicked open, and a group of people start rushing through, dressed in black clothing and wielding daggers.
Do we get a chance to react before this goes off, or?
So it's basically they're trying to surprise you, you're trying to surprise them, so the two cancel out.
Okay.
You're both ready for each other. So please roll initiative for me.
Oh my god.
I don't know where initiative is on the sheet. Oh, I found
Select token number 1.
it. Yeah, boy!
Press button. Ah, yes.
Oh.
It's all right, Ed. You're just following up the party. It's all good.
Do you
I
want me to
mean-
roll initiative for my elk?
He will act on your turn, just to make things easier.
Can I just say that the best thing about having Alex as a DM is all of the monsters get great names in initiative.
It's partially I like to conceal the names of the monsters that you're coming across so that people can make use of knowledge skills, and it's partly because I like puns and similar things. So as this gen here starts to pass through the open door, it's Mara who's first to react.
So, having already been poised to do exactly this, Mara's very quick off the mark. With a look of truly maniacal glee on her face, she pulls out a bottle with some sort of strange glowing liquid in it. And from various other pouches, stuffs in what looks to be lemon juice, baking soda, and an ungodly quantity of chili flakes. Shakes it up, takes 2 quick steps around to here, and yells, "Fire in the hole!" as she throws one of her bombs.
They're like, more scared, definitely more scared.
Probably looking at the current positioning as this man. And then I try to remember exactly how this work.
So you make an attack roll against him if you're targeting a person.
Yes. And then anyone who's standing directly next to him gets splashed.
Yeah.
Amazing. An 11 hit.
Let's see.
I don't think it will.
So it misses him, but it explodes next to him. So he will still take some damage as the bomb crushes next to his feet and explodes. So he will make a save to avoid the splash damage. Let's just check how that works. So he makes a reflex save. And fails horribly. There are burns running up the guy's leg as you hit him, and he kind of lets out an involuntary yelp of pain.
So I believe him and the 3 men standing next to him, do they all take the splash damage, or do the others not because I missed?
They do as well.
Awesome.
So each of them, oof.
Lots of nice failing rolls, I like this.
So just bear with me a quick second as I add in the health bars. So the joy of being an alchemist is, even though you missed, all three of the people that get hit by the explosion look quite badly injured.
And then, having seen what she's just wrought, and presumably the number of people she's just put off, Mara is then going to go, oh dear, and run back around the corner.
Okay, sets up nicely for Gore.
So is the door here or is it here?
It is where this guy is standing. He's basically heading through the door.
Oh,
You get the
sorry,
distinct
I went to the
impression
wrong
from
flash, but
That's all right.
same.
You get a distinct impression from Gore. He's never really hit a person like this before. So, but seeing as bombs are going off and they're trying to kill him, some sort of strange reflex is going to kick in at this point, and he's going to try and attack that guy. I would like to charge him.
Okay, is that a specific ability or?
The the actual charge attack. So I get +2 to this damage roll. I'm not going to rage, but I'm going to power attack.
I will point out the negative for charging is you get -2 to your AC until the start of your next turn. Just so you're aware.
I'm kind of hoping he's going to be dead, and I'm going to sort of stand backwards, and then.
Also, charging will end your turn, so you will be there.
I will not charge, but I will walk up to this person and I will try and power attack him.
Okay.
Let's see what happens, shall we? 16 to hit.
That is a hit, and you've your swing of the axe takes his arm clean off at the socket. The guy kind of blanches, turns white from the bits of skin that you can see under his back clothing, and he just collapses.
Gore looks incredibly shocked. He will step back to here to give access to the door, but he looks very worried. I think is the phrase I will give right now. And he will shout out as he sort of killed that man and look for a door. He will shout out there are 4 more back there. And then yeah, I think that'll be me.
Okay, Garrick, you're up.
Cool. Just double checking something. Sweet. Okay. So I'm going to move to here and sort of draw like out, ready, arrow knocked and drawn back, so it's tensed, pointing at this guy here. I'm going to actually attempt to demoralize him with an intimidation check.
Okay.
Basically, it's just going to be just stare, snarl, and a bit of a "you just try" kind of.
Okay. Make a check for me, please.
Yep.
It's 10 + 1 +. Okay, you noticeably spook the guy. He's still armed and still heading forward, but you can tell you've had an effect on him.
Yep. So he is
shaken
for 1 round. Duration increases by 1 round for every 5 which I beat his resistance DC by.
So that'll be an additional 2 rounds.
Sweet.
So which guy did you target? Sorry.
Where's the map? That guy, the middle guy, the one that's in like a straight line from me. I'm then going to sort of click my tongue and give like a short whistle to call Taruka. And have him actually sort out what you can do. Have him just go for an attack against this guy here.
Okay.
Do I need to do handle animal for that?
I don't think so. I think you'll be able to do that without a specific check.
Yeah, I think one thing we sorted out his the tricks for him. I think that's the one thing I've forgotten to do. But being able to attack people is probably one of the things I would have trained him.
Yeah. So I'm fine with you doing that without a check.
Cool. Cheers. So 2, 3. That, and he's going to attempt a gore attack.
Okay. You targeting the top guy or the bottom guy?
That guy, the one that I didn't demoralize.
He ends up quite firmly on the elk's horns and twitches once and just slides off.
Good boy.
Okay. Any more for any more?
That's my turn.
Okay. Now it's Jin's turn.
I am going to. I'm pretty close to the door already, so I'm just going to sort of lean round, fire a crossbow bolt through the doorway, trying to hit one, but more just spook them with a crossbow bolt so that they don't rush through the door, and we can just pick them off as they try and come through.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about hitting anybody, but I can still make an attack roll if that's what you'd like.
Yep.
Cool. Woo! Yeah. So
So it probably more as a stroke of luck than anything else. You
hold fate.
yeah, whether divine intervention or sheer luck, your kind of haphazard shot to force them away strikes one of the approaching assassins just straight through the eye.
Seeing I got a critical on that, can I choose not the guy that's already been demoralized and one of the other ones instead?
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say it's you shoot one of the guys who's kind of heading up the back, and he just hits the wall and collapses.
I'll offer a quick thanks to Pharasma and then just duck back to where I am. I'm start reloading.
Okay. On their turn, seeing that half of their troop just got annihilated in one swift go, they look quickly around, and then one of them calls to the other to say, "Fall back. We'll hold them at the library." So this guy will 5-foot step to avoid getting gored, and then disappear into the room over this way. So there is a door here. I'll mark them out as they go through, because obviously it's not hugely clear on the map details. But they fall back, and you can hear the sound of like things being turned over from the other room. And it is Alina's turn.
So where is open to get to them? Is this a door?
Yeah.
Well, it's time to go full dynamic entry. 1, 2, 3. Like, Alina just jumps through the door essentially.
Okay. Please make an attack roll of some variety for me, because the door has been blocked by something.
Literally kicks through the door.
So you you plant your foot into the door, and you hit solid resistance. So you know that if this was a door like any of the other ones, you would have almost knocked it off the hinges. But this door in particular has been barricaded. So you hit the door, you crack the wood, but it remains closed.
So Alina will turn to the person next to her who has a big ass weapon and be like, "I think that's your one," and then just moves around here. That's me.
Okay, so in the library, there are some more people who are wielding bows.
Huh. That's not good.
And you can see that. So on the other side of the door that you tried to kick through, you can see the damage that you did. But one of the bookcases in the library has been like knocked over to hold the door shut. And the people who are behind bows have set up. They've basically like pushed the tables over to act as cover for themselves. So I'm just going to quickly add these guys in, because these guys will be slightly different. They are.
As I said, best seat.
We'll do it like this, and then move it back over to Alina.
Oh well, that's the end of my turn because I've used an action to hit moved. So that's all I got.
There we go. So it comes back round to Mara.
So Mara, with her tiny little leggies, is going to do her best to get around to the library. Probably not quite make it. So she's gonna go 1, 2. What's the ruling on diagonal squares?
They're just 5 feet, same as everything else.
1, 2, 3, 4. Just about, I think, has line of sight. These two, maybe.
You will do, but they have a quite between the wall separating you and the table they set up. They do have quite a bit of cover.
I will do my best. My best is probably not going to be very good, but I will do my best.
So I'll just check how cover works, because it's a specific thing.
If it's half cover, which is pretty much the idea of cover, it's plus C to your AC. More than that, and it gets into percentage chances, I think.
Yeah, there is. So they'll get a bonus to their AC for the attack.
Cool. The other thing that you've noticed about is that, as well as a large and strange variety of potions and bottles, she also has a lot of knives. Like, why does this person have so many knives? And I would like to throw one of my tiny little boys.
Okay.
Probably the guy with the bow who's immediately threatened.
Bear in mind, if they are within 5 feet of me, you do get a penalty to hit them.
Mind, the other one.
Okay.
I would rather not accidentally stab my new friend. Eat. I'm assuming that misses.
Yeah. Unfortunately, your throw would have hit them if it didn't bury itself in the hilt into a writing desk. Somewhere, a librarian is sad.
At least I was on target. I will take that.
Okay. Anything else for your turn, Mara?
No, that's fine. I've just realised I should have used my sling instead of my knife, but too late now.
Okay, so moving over to Gore. So the door immediately in front of you, has been barricaded because Alina's strike was pretty solid and couldn't open it.
Do I think that if a particularly solid strike was to happen against the door, it would smash open?
You think you'd be able, probably if you basically just give it a full welly, you could probably smash the barricade down.
So to try and like impress his new co-workers and not look like a baby adventurer, Gore is going to remember some of the words that his mother once told him, and he is going to channel that into himself, and he's going to enter a rage. And then I am going to power attack the door.
Now remember, little Gore, if ever you get in a problem that you can't think you can solve, just use your head.
Yeah,
And
so
you're like, think my way through it. No, use your head.
Use your head. Let's see how this goes, everybody. Haha. A 13 to hit for 19 damage.
Yep. You basically you hit where Alina had cracked the wood with her foot, and your axe just turns the wood into splinters and then cuts into a bookcase. You're able to push through when you meet resistance, to the extent that you're able to push the door down entirely and then cut the bookshelf in half so that you're able to push through.
Excellent. With the door smashed open, he will sort of look over to Alina. He was going to shout something like like thanks for loosening it or something, but realised Alina's like in full combat mode, and now is not that time. Gore will, however, step into the room here next to Archer person and sort of give this person a look of, I don't really want to kill you, but clearly I can. Please stand down.
Yeah, you do hear a loud swear as as you smash the barricade down. Like just fuck of surprise. Okay, Garrick.
It's me.
Gonna step here, and I'm gonna do. Basically just be like, oh, another archer. Let's see who's better, and ping this guy here.
Mhm.
Is he classed as being in melee with Gore? Or
Yes, he will be.
So I'll take the -4 on that.
Yeah.
It's fine. This is going to go oh so well. Okay.
Yeah, so angling your shot to avoid hitting Gore as he swings past means that your shot hits wide and buries itself into a book.
Archery for beginners.
The irony, unfortunately, escapes you.
Something to do with metal, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna just shift this guy over to here so that there's a bit more space.
And then there's going to be sort of a whistle and a point to Taruka.
Mhm.
Just like a general sort of move ahead sort of thing.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3. You know what? They're just going to go and try and gore the archer that I just missed.
Okay.
Once I've picked my target, they do not get away. You're going down one way or another. 14 hit.
So, kind of alerted by the arrow, the bowman's able to duck down underneath the desk and avoid the swiping horns of your elk. Let's
Cool.
give everyone hit points. Okay, Any more for any more?
No, that's my turn.
Okay, last up is Jin.
So just to check, does switching to my mace and shield count as my action, or can I do that on the move?
Yeah, so it will be a move action to basically swap weapons fully.
Okay.
So you'll be able to move as well, but then that would be your turn.
That's fine. I will hold on, I'm getting unmuted. I will switch my bow or switch my crossbow to my shield and mace, and I'll move in front of Garrick to give him a bit of cover and sort of kneel down in front of him with a shield. Lots of dogs. So he has sort of somebody to stand behind while I get my shield up in front of him.
Okay.
I'm happy for that to be my action.
Okay, so first up is the archers. This one up here is going to ready a short bow first. It does trigger an attack of opportunity from Taruka.
Ooh.
Which he's able to duck past as he aims a shot back towards Gerrig. So where's his bow? There it is. Oh dear. So I'll just roll to confirm that. Oh no, it's +5, but that doesn't matter for the purposes of this. Okay, so it's just a regular hit.
Phew.
Ow.
So it's... And luckily it's only 1 piercing damage. You're able to get hit in the armor so that it doesn't draw too much. The second one's going to fire at Gore. For a 24 to hit.
It does in fact hit me.
For 5 piercing damage.
Goodbye, temporary hit points. And then 3 more after that.
And then this one up here is going to aim a shot at Alina. Does a 16 hit you, Alina?
Not whilst I'm holding my shield.
Which is good because an arrow just landed in it and kind of impact stops and clutters to the ground. Then it is the Stabo's turn. So this one up here is going to take a stab at Taruka. Gets you 6 misses.
Yes.
The one who's still shaken is going to aim a stab at Gore. For an 18.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Let's just have to check something quickly.
He's demoralized, right?
He is, yes. Oh yeah, so it would be 16 to hit, if that changes it.
I believe that's still a hit against my AC. Yes, it is on the nose.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you for 7 piercing damage.
Oof. Ow. Gore looks very badly injured from that particular attack.
Yeah, it looks like he managed to, while you were distracted by the arch directly in front of you, as well as the shots coming in from elsewhere, he's able to kind of, sneak up and aim a jab at your side.
Did that archer who's directly in front of us fire?
Yes, he did actually. So he he does provoke an attack of opportunity from Gore and Alina as well.
After you, Ed.
I mean, you're the one who's going to kill it in one shot. But oh,
Yeah, so might as well get yours in first.
So the good news is you cleave through the desk he was using as cover.
Well, that's good. I'm Gore, destroyer of furniture.
Basically, what happened was, as he was readying a shot, and you take the opportunity to push forward, he kicks the desk forward in such a way that your attack kind of, break the desk rather than his face. But that's all of their turns. So it is now back to Alina's turn.
did my attack of opportunity on the guy here?
It did not.
13. Do not like.
The guys with bows seem to be a lot trickier than the ones with daggers.
Okay. I will shout through to Gehrig. Am I okay to ride Taruka?
No.
I will tell you from a quick look. Taruka is big, but not big enough for you to ride.
That's a shame. Right. Well, my standard action is going to be punch this archer in the face.
Okay, he's no longer in cover.
14
But that will not hit, I'm afraid.
Just rolling poorly.
In fact, no, sorry, because you're all flanking him, that does hit. So he is clobbered by the shot and looks like he's almost out for the count.
In which case, as a move action, you all see Alina seem to get inspiration from the fight, and I'm going to use one of my class abilities called Martial Flexibility, and for the next minute I will have access to the dodge feat. Actually, no, not the dodge feat. Deflect arrows.
I like it.
As like seeing the one impact the shield, she just turns and looks at the other two and just sort of does the come on then. That's my turn.
Okay. It's over to Mara.
Mara turns to look at Gehrig and says, "Don't kill me, this is helpful, I promise." She's going to step over to here, shake up another of her concoctions. I'm not going to do that action on camera again. And instead of throwing it at a specific person, is going to target this grid intersection, which I believe is AC 5, according to the cheeky throw splash.
Sure, that sounds about right.
So this will hit 3 of the bandits and Taruka.
Okay. So you're targeting the area rather than any one of them.
Yeah, so I can target the grid intersection instead of a specific person, which means no one takes direct damage, but I'm much more to be on target.
I mean, I'm gonna be that person and say, could you not target this grid intersection?
There is a reason. There is a reason. I promise.
Okay.
The reason is you don't like elks.
No, the reason is I like elks. And that would have hit a person as well. That's sad.
Okay.
So nobody takes direct damage. The 3 baddies take splash damage. Taruka, instead, suddenly feels very spicy and has 1 round's worth of the fire belly spell.
What?
Grandmother's Spice, my special ability. This is just like Nanny used to make.
grandmother's home.
Alina is just like you just hear her go, absolutely terrifying. This is the worst.
And then once again ducking back round the corner because I don't want to die. That's what this lot are for.
So the bottle explodes in a kind of a puff of powder. The bandit here, I don't need to roll for him. He just drops. As the spores settle on Taruka, there's just a soft, warm glow coming from his belly. And as for the other two, they will try and avoid taking damage or taking as much damage.
So does Taruka take any damage or
None at all.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay, so this guy takes the full.
It is the spicy soup.
I only have like 4 of these a day, and I've already used 2 of them.
Well,
I regret nothing.
I am very interested in how long this fight goes, considering I am very low on hit points right now.
That's why I decided to use a second one.
So one dies on the spot. One is very badly injured, and the other one manages to duck behind a bookshelf and avoids the worst of it. Quite an impact you made in one go.
I've never used these on people before. Good to know that they work.
Okay. So after Mara's turn, you feel the mansion kind of rumble as a heavy impact sounds off from the northeast.
Oh dear. Wasn't me.
That's some after effect, Mara.
I don't think it was me. It might have been me. Was that me?
I mean, stranger things have happened, but you're pretty sure it was elsewhere in the mansion.
Do we have a chance to check? Do these guys look surprised at the explosion, or?
They flinch, but not in a way that suggests that they didn't expect it at all.
Okay.
Okay, and it is now Gore's turn.
So this one here struck me in a way that would probably kill many of the people that aren't Gore, and Gore is quite upset about this. But realizing that this one is one of the ones that was injured previously, Gore is going to go for precision rather than pure damage. So no power attack. So no power attack this time.
Okay.
14 to hit for 14 damage
Uh,
on that one.
Yep. So you're able to swing a feint so that he looks like he's about to dodge what looks to be like a full force swing. But as you raise your axe forward, instead of continuing the swing forward, you just throw the axe forward to just knock him in the head, and he crashes against one of the bookshelves and falls down dead.
Precision. Gore is then going to step to here. Because they're all within 5 feet of the elk anyway, so it's not going to make the archer even. It's not going to make him more sad. It's going to be the same level of sad. But I'm going to step here and threaten that archer if he tries to shoot people. Then he will get punched. And this is round 2 of my 9 rounds of raging.
Yep. Garrick.
So first there's going to be like a string of orcish expletives as that bomb goes off, sort of cut off with like a huh. As Taruka, in like a weird state of panic, kind of does that bucking backwards kind of thing like you sometimes see with like horse and deer, and take 5-foot step backwards and unleash a cone of fire from its mouth in a moment of animalistic panic and confusion. So those guys need to make
reflex saves, yeah.
save. I don't know what the DC for that would be though.
It is based on Mara's save DC, so whatever that will be.
Okay.
My save DC, I don't actually know what it is. They've all been either clearly fails or successes up until now. Where do I find this information?
So
in your
it's
magic bit.
yeah, it's 10 plus level of spell plus modifier of the ability you use to cast spells.
13.
So
Wait, no. 14.
Okay, so the archer fails, but the other one passes. So roll your damage. It was 1d4.
Oh, sorry, I was attempting to get all 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine.
So they should be in the 15-foot cone.
It's 14 for the save, wasn't it?
Mm.
So the other archer would pass it as well. So 3. So this guy catches fire and collapses to the ground. This one, who's hiding behind the bookshelf, manages to escape the worst of it, but still have some burns. And the archer here looks like he's still in one piece for now. But the sudden breath of fire causes the desks and the bookshelves that were being used as cover by these people all catch fire.
Oh no! Think of that.
Let's just do some general fiery stuff is going on there.
So Gereg's action now. It's kind of sort of refocus, draw the bow, and I'm going to aim for Knifey Boy in the middle.
Yep, they're no longer in cover.
Mr. Stabman. Because I'm assuming, where's my ruler? Yeah, he's easily within 30 foot. I'm going to get have my point blank shot bonus against him.
And you pin the guy to a wall like a poster. He slams into the wall behind him and stays stuck there with the arrow in his chest.
Nice.
Anything more for the turn?
Yeah, sort of very purposefully and threateningly sort of start striding forwards towards the fire. But stop short of the fire. Basically, obviously trying to cut off that the remaining archers like points of egress.
That makes sense.
And that's my turn.
Okay, that leaves Jim next.
Okay, as Garrick strides into the room, I'm going to be following him in. I'm going to stop next to Gore and use my one of my healing spells, which I completely blanked on the name of.
Cure Light Wounds will be the
Cure Light
one
Wounds,
you're
that's
probably
it.
using.
So D8 plus 1, I believe.
Yep.
I am
Sorry.
sorry, I'm such a potato.
It's fine. For 8 points of health.
Gore is looking a lot better.
Good job, Gore. Keep it up.
Yeah, you see Jin hold his hand to a symbol that looks like a spiral. As his hands glow to touch you, and you feel not a warmth per se, but just like you could just feel the stab wound kind of just burn itself closed.
Like DP.
It's like DP, is it?
Yeah, it's like it's one of those like neither pleasant nor unpleasant sensations.
That's me.
Okay. The archer's the only person left. He has nowhere to run, so he is elected to fight. He will. I mean, he hasn't chosen death. He's chosen the manner of his death. He'll take a shot at Garrick. For a 17 to hit.
That unfortunately for him, does hit.
You've activated an attack.
It's a shot for 5 piercing damage.
Oof. Okie doke.
I just finished killing Gore and look around at Garrick and go, huh?
Just so I understand, when I stop raging, those 2 temporary hit points eventually get deducted from my.
No. If you're an untrained barbarian, then they just sit on top and they go first.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you don't lose any hit points.
It's just good.
All the rogues are dead. So it is Alina's turn.
Lena steps out behind the fire elk, as it will be known. And looks at the archer. Looks at the archer. Looks at the wall of fire. Looks at the archer. Looks at the shield. Throws the shield at the archer.
Yeah,
in a very practiced motion.
You can see from the guy's facial expression that he has accepted that he is going to die, and he is just resolved to take as many of you out with him as he can.
Cool. I also have point blank shot with shields. So that's a 15 to hit for 6 damage.
In America.
A 15. Unfortunately, skates just past him.
In which case, everyone else looks injured, so Alina's just going to essentially jump the fire and jump at him. Now I don't have a shield.
Yeah, that's fine. You're able to move quickly enough that you're not burned. But you are in a threatening range.
That's me done.
Okay, Mara.
Mara is going to come back through this door and take aim with her slingshot. It is a very small slingshot, firing very small rounds, but she will do her best. Oh my god, I actually hit him for 1 damage.
Very small slingshot.
Your shot glances off the guy's shoulder. Clearly hurts, but not enough to badly injure him.
This is not what I was made for.
Okay. Next up is Gore.
Oh,
So Gore, realizing that we're in a very flammable room that is currently on fire, will first try this door here to see if it opens.
It does. The corridor here looks like it's empty. This area here, is like the sort of like a servant's quarters and kitchen.
Okay.
But it does look like it's clear of people.
Okay. Gore's going to step through into the room and is going to drop his rage. Means I have 4 rounds before I can rage again.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another door here? Yes. So Gore will move up to probably this door here and then use his action to open this door and have a look inside.
This door is already open, and it's like a small servant's quarters, so very similar to your rooms, just a bit less lavish, a bit more practical. And you can see in the bed looks like it looks like a young elf boy servant who is unfortunately sleeping in bloodstained covers. Looks like the people that got to him first.
Gore will swear and we'll move up to the next door, but I don't think I can open it this time.
This door is also open, and it is a mess. There are several bodies in here as well. Looks like these are people who look like they were kind of awake and around when the attack came, but were not in a position to defend themselves.
Are they again servants?
Yeah.
Okay. Gore will then move to here, assuming there's a door there, and be kind of ready for what happens next.
Yeah, this one looks like it's closed.
Cool. That's me.
Okay, Garrick.
Has the archer's died? Yeah, or
He's still here.
okay, tit for tat. He's getting
Gore was ensuring there was a way out of the burning building.
fair. Yeah, no, I'm going to attempt to pincushion him as well.
Okay.
I should have thought about this before getting into combat with it. Whoops.
Oh wait, that would be a minus. Yeah, that's -4 on that, isn't it? Never
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, that definitely doesn't hit then.
Yeah, again, it's the hesitation of not wanting to shoot and hit your ally that causes you to hesitate just long enough to not take the shot.
Roll on 3rd level.
Taruka can move though.
So yeah, following that, just sort of frustration and just be like, it's like fine, and just walk out of that room, following behind Gore, and whistle for Taruka. Just walk off in a strop.
Taruka looks very relieved to not be in the fire room. Yeah, you could sense nervousness when he was in there, but when you motioned for him to follow you, he bounds through quite happily. Okay, that takes us to Jin.
So the archer guy's still alive, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Not leaving an ally unaided. I'm going to move to this doorway, and then oh no, that's a penalty for shooting at the guy, isn't it? And plus, I've got my crossbow or my mace out. I'll just walk up and attack the guy. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let me find my character sheet.
Power of bopping mace. That's good.
Wow.
It's being here in a flaming battlefield just triggers something in your head, and it like makes you freeze just for a moment. So he will. Doesn't have any other weapons, so he's going to raise his short bow. So Alina and Jin, you both get attacks of opportunity.
Sure.
Oh.
Oh no. Okay.
And before he can even knock the arrow, Alina just throws a jab into his throat, and he chokes and collapses.
Alina looks down and goes, "Whoops! I meant to incapacitate him. Whoops."
That's good. No, we're fine. That's.
So as that guy drops, you take a moment to pause and realize that you're no longer in any immediate danger. Apart from the fact that the room you're in is on fire.
Alina is then stamping on books as much as possible. Like,
yeah, also trying to beat out the flames a bit.
Yeah, so we'll so you get a turn to do something, Alina, and then we'll drop back out of combat.
yeah, Alina is just like trying to put this fire out as best as she can.
Yeah, so kind of after a few seconds, you're able to kind of isolate the worst of it. The nice thing about paper is that it burns, but it burns quickly. So you're able to kind of contain it to an area that's surrounded by stone floor, so it can burn itself out safely.
Oh, she'll retrieve her shield and then just be like, right,
so
this is problematic.
So the library, apart from being a bit of a war zone, is now clear of threats. You can head through to where Kirsten mentioned this as being the servants' quarters or kitchen. And it looks as though, from a quick look around, the assassins went through here to get to you. And
These people look like they're within. Can I save them with a with healing, or are they too far gone?
yeah, looks like they were shot or stabbed kind of a few minutes ago. So they are unfortunately dead.
Give a quick blessing of Pharasma over them. It's like saying along the lines of fate willed it that I couldn't get to you today, and move on to the next and check, and then keep going.
Can I get my dagger back as I head through the library?
You certainly can.
As you're saying your prayers, Gore, move up to this door and have a listen through it to see if you can hear anything.
So from where you are, you can hear much fainter sounds of fighting from further in the mansion, but there's nothing close by.
Gore will sort of look at everyone. He's sort of panting quite a lot as he's exerted a lot of force, and he goes, "Is it? What do we do now? Do we leave? Do we go to the fighting? Do we? Is there a local paladin order we should speak to about this?" Gore looks really like concerned and confused about what to do. And like, do I need to go and like see someone? I've just killed like 3 people.
Right. First of all, take a breath. Take a moment. I understand that this is new for you. Just breathe in, breathe out. It was them or you. What are the other platitudes we use?
They started it.
They started it. They had a knife. Yeah, that'll work. Secondly, we should probably go and help people if they're in trouble, just because a major attack on the head of a city, you don't want to be leaving that before it's determined you're not guilty. In general.
Gore will make a very like surprised facial expression that he could be discharged of being guilty of this, and then sort of like, okay, so we go help them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So while everyone's taking an in-character breather to gather themselves, now seems like a really good time to have our break for the session. So we'll break for half an hour. It gives us enough time to get lunch, refill drinks, go to the toilet, all that kind of thing. And we'll head back in at 2:05 to carry on.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to head off briefly, but we'll be back around to chat and such, and we'll see everyone soon.
Cool.
And it's at this point that Ed decided to stay on camera. For no reason.
I'm trying to work out, Sean, if I turn my camera off, is it going to ruin everything?
Someone already has. It's fine.
It's not my problem. Oh man, I haven't played Pathfinder. I haven't played anything like 3.5 Pathfinder in a very long time, and I forgot just how glass tanky.
Barbarians, all the damage, none of the defense.
Yes. Walking
Like,
around with 40 when you're raging is fine.
I love the fact that because I throw my shield as a form of attack, in my defense section under AC, I have under notes +2 when they're having a shield on, rather than putting it in permanently.
Perfect.
Oh dear.
So I'm still very entertained by the fact that my precision attack damage was more than enough damage to kill every other member of the party, including myself.
What was your precision attack?
So the precision attack did 14 damage.
Yeah, you would have downed me with that. Just.
It will down me if I'm not raging.
Mm.
Oh boy.
I think we have very similar health pools, considering. Like,
Boy. Spicy
Lando human. Also, I was like, I'm playing someone who's really quite tall. She's 6'2", looks at the 6'7" half orc. You win this round.
Stan puffs out chest, looks like half orc. He's very confused at why he has to kill people.
Just like the cinnamon roll. So
I've killed the gore backstory. It's like I was an adventurer once. Me and my 3 friends went out and we killed a giant spider that was terrorizing a barn.
wow, a powerful adventurer you are.
Mate, giant spiders are high CR rating the bandits. I don't know how I survived.
It's very simple. Like it did not get the drop on you, and then you turned around and went raging power attack, dead. I crit you because I'm lucky. You are dead.
Oh dear, would you like to see the attack that can kill an entire level 1 player party in one go if they're all standing in the same space? 69 damage.
So I'm looking forward to the point where people realize that like in this party there is only one melee character and it's you. The rest of us are just like, I guess we throw things.
Well, it's more I'm causing the problem, right? Because I walk up to the person to hit, and everyone's like, oh, now we've got -1 to hit. Thanks, Gore. And now we have to heal you.
Although it's not -1 if you're in combat with them, it's -4. It's
Oh,
really bad.
Yes. No, it's
It's-
the Gore why. Stop it.
It's the equivalent of heavy cover. Like it's but yeah, I was like, I should engage on them, and then I was like, wait, no, I'm in a party of mainly people who throw things. Oh no.
I'm here to help. It's all right. We'll all hit level 3 eventually. I'll have like an actual hit point pool. They will have the ignore penalties for how people stood next to things, and then everyone will be happy. It's just
Yeah, I could have used a move action to give myself that, but then I wouldn't have, the ability to catch arrows, which was very important in that fight. I wanted to flex on them.
I was a little concerned when I went down to 4 hit points remaining. I was like, "Ooh, that's a knife crit. That was a knife critical hit. That's spicy."
Was it a crit?
He rolled 2d6.
Yeah, I thought for a moment that he had sneak attack. That's what I was thinking it was, but I was not paying all that much attention.
It could
You
be
know,
18 to hit. 18 is the crit for a dagger, right?
nah, you need 19 natural on the dice.
Oh.
18 is the crit threat range for like weird weapons like the kukri.
Kukri.
Like you don't mess with a kukri, man. Like, or a lot of the Japanese weapons are high crit range. So,
Those of you in chat who are watching, I haven't played Pathfinder before in my life, so I'm going to require as much help and advice as possible in building a big meat man barbarian. So if you have suggestions of feats and skills and abilities and class options, please do let us know. We can all play this together.
sadly, because you chose correctly and became an unchained barbarian, I can't teach you about the joys of rage cycling. Which is so there's a lot of for base barbarian they put in a lot of once per rage powers.
Yep.
But you get rage rounds per day, so obviously a once per rage power, if you use a single round of rage, that's it. So there is a build which is based around getting the immunity to fatigue, so you have no penalties for stopping raging, and then just using all the once per rage powers on a single attack, dropping your rage as part of it, and then putting your rage back on because it's a free action and you can do that. Which
Wow.
means you burn through your rage rounds really quickly, but you are very scary. It's something like at level, I want to say 8, you get the ability to go, okay, I walk up to you, I use my single attack, it's a vital strike, so I do weapon damage times the amount of attacks I would get. I use this one rage power, it maximizes all the damage of that. Yeah. It's silly.
Oh dear. No.
Mm.
Dear. Well, Alex, was this the cinnamon bun that I promised you? Is this doing everything that I said I would do? and more?
He's adorable.
Should we go call the paladins? I don't know how this works. Do you have police out here?
I was intending on going somewhat cinnamon bun, but I feel like I'm just gonna have to scale it back. Just like
It's all right. We'll just see how far into the campaign it goes until Gorge becomes like every standard typical barbarian, where he's like rage first, ask questions later, smash.
also I can't go my other option of being jaded as all hell because I feel like Gehrig is taking that route very quickly. So I'm this uncomfortable middle ground.
You can be jaded together. And I can look at both of you as like,
No.
it's all good. Dear. I will step away for a very brief second. I don't have time to cook anything. I'm sure I'll make some toast.
Oh. Can't wait for level 2 where I get the ability to get my shield back in the same round of combat. As it is, it's like, oh no. I think it's my AC.
Yeah, gives me some time to sort out a puzzle later on.
Oh no. Who we got in the chat? No one currently.
Yeah, I'm saving the advertisements and such for the first proper session, because as well as everything else, I know a lot of people haven't been on stream before, so it's basically just a case of easing people into it while there's not a big for us crowd of people.
Yeah. Just to let you know, because I'm a terrible rules lawyer, and I apologise for this. However, I will point out that you did one thing wrong earlier, but it didn't actually make any difference, so that's why I didn't bring it up at the time. If you do a 5-foot step, you can't take any form of movement afterwards. When you 5-foot step to avoid it, what you actually meant to do was take the withdraw action, which is a full round action, which lets you move double your movement and avoid attacks of opportunity. But same difference, right? So
yeah, no, thank you. That's really helpful. Because I'm familiar with Pathfinder kind of through the video games. So there are quite a few bits of the actual tabletop rules that I'm not familiar with or get changed.
like thankfully I'm no longer playing in like 6 different editions of D&D like things at the same time, so I now actually can remember the rules vaguely properly. But then I managed to pick the class which has a fucking ability which lets you go, do you qualify for a feat? You can temporarily gain access to it. So I've got a feat database up. It's very comprehensive, and it's like, what do I want there at this given time? Give me catching arrows, sure. So I'm suddenly getting to the point where I have to learn a load of extra rules anyway. Because I think I'm one of the, I'm probably the most esoteric class, aren't I? Brawler. Because you have cleric, whose main rulebook, barbarian, albeit unchained, main rulebook, sort of. Alchemist, which was the second book, and I assume ranger. It's very weird. Yeah, well, there's the thing is they also, because Pathfinder has rules bloat, there's like 3 or 4 other like later on classes he could be, which also have like animal companions and do funky things. The one that comes to mind most is Hunter, but they have some very weird abilities, so I don't think he's like that. Because he hasn't turned himself into a deer yet. Essentially what happened is they made generic sort of D&D classes, and then later on they went, but we also like anime and like comic books, so let's just take a load of our favorite characters and make them into classes. Hence why you have Captain America the class, there's Beast Boy the class, there's even Tuxedo Mask the class, which is excellent, absolutely pointless at most things, but excellent.
Yeah, it's one of the nice things is are the times when Pathfinder kind of forgets that it's like goes like, oh no, actually we're gonna actually be our own thing and have cool things like Scalds.
Scouts are amazing.
How do you make Captain America the class? Not Captain America.
So,
Tuxedo Mask the class.
right. So
you just fly in off screen, mansplain something, and then fly away again. Is that
sort of. So there is a class called Vigilante, which the trope is you have 2 identities and you have separate powers in each identity. So you have your social identity, which is treated as your like civilian life. So it's Bruce Wayne, etc. And then you have your vigilante identity, which is either really good at like being almost like a rogue and be quite assassiny and skill based, or a much more brawler, like fightery type. They were like, okay, this is fine, and then they released like an archetype for a version of it where you just take advantage of things which go well as one of your like abilities for both social and vigilante work, which is Tuxedo Mask. Essentially, you turn up to a crime scene and go, "I have solved this," and walk away. And because one of the things it tracks is like your infamy or your like popularity as a hero, like you just get a load of benefits to do that if you turn up at a crime scene which has already been solved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Arrive at place. Declare you have solved everything. Refuse to elaborate further. Leave.
Sounds like most like Agatha Christie books, surely.
I mean, yeah. They also created the sort of Sherlock Holmes-esque character, the class, which is the investigator, which is amazing. Just very good at skills and also punching people in the throat. Specifically the throat.
So we're talking more Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. So the base version of it gets a thing called Studied Strike, where you study your opponent, and it's very much that version of Sherlock Holmes. But then the archetypes that went out, like you can remove that for more investigatory sort of bents on things to become more skill focused. They also have my favourite version of it, which I call the Watson, where you replace all your Study Strike stuff for the ability to use a gun. Where it's like you come in and you're like quite good at skills, and then like combat kicks off and you pull out a gun and shoot someone, and it's like, yep, that's your superpower.
I'm just looking through the archetypes of one of them is psychic detective.
Yep.
Probably the best and worst thing about Pathfinder simultaneously. It's like just how much stuff there is.
So I once played in the game. I once played in the game with two investigators. One of them was a psychic detective, and the other one had like maxed out their bluff and was pretending to be a psychic detective. And it's just like, why are you doing this? I don't understand. Both of them were like, well, it's funny, and also I guess it's kind of useful. Maybe.
I mean, I have to say, by far my favourite character I've played in tabletop is a flavour-wise, they were a wild magic sorcerer, but the actual deal was that they were just an obscenely lucky peasant. It was like full-on domino, luck is my superpower sort of thing. It was like so never taking a spell that was like proper magic. It was all things like catapult, where it's like he kicks a rock and it just flies to hit someone at just the right angle.
Oh, yeah, that was short. Like having you in those games, I was genuinely like, how do I explain what happens if you do obscenely well? I have to come up with like a sort of Rube Goldberg-esque machine happening around you of luck.
Good times were had by all.
It genuinely one of my favorite things is just like your thing of like, oh yeah, so rules wise, I'm going to use catapult to hit it, to do this. Actually, what happens is like I trip up and fall, and like the rock I stumble on fires off randomly in a direction, and I was like, yes, this is perfect. I was just like the first Acknowledging Arms team was a very weird set of people to start with. Like
Absolutely.
between the lucky peasant and the halfling who was a warlock who'd done a pact for hairdressing powers. Like
It was certainly a game, wasn't it, Ed?
only feel partially guilty for sending you to the Shadow Realm, James.
Only partially guilty.
I really should have looked up that stat line before putting it on a random encounter table.
Shadow demons are a bit rude, but it's fine. I got to play lots of different characters instead, including Battlecat. Well, I say Battlecat. It was the gnome artificer riding Battlecat. But it was definitely Battlecat.
Who was so good at fixing things that you ended up making a holy water like hose pipe in hell. Really pissed off. Really pissed off all the devils. Really did. But could they do anything about it? Of course not. It's a load of holy water.
Such power. That's all right, Ed. You got your own back on me. You also are now playing an Eldritch Knight in a different game, and so far you've used 0 Eldritch Knight powers. You have used the spell I Throw Knife.
I haven't got to the point where I'm Eldritch Knight, James, but also, like, the cantrips I take are not going to be combat cantrips.
So-
And the spells I take probably won't help either.
For those of you who play 5th edition who are watching in the audience right now, an interesting combination for a level 1 fighter, if you have the ability to take an extra feat. Take the fighting style archery, so you get +2 to your throwing daggers, and then you want to take a second fighting style, which you get from your class, which is +2 damage with throw weapons, and then you want to take sharpshooter. And then you do this incredible combination where you are just some random person running around with something like a +5 attack bonus or a +7 attack bonus to throwing knives, and then you use power and you then sharpshooted them to get your minuses, and then you end up doing something like 1d4 +3 +10 damage on a throwing knife.
Mickey, are you perhaps like slightly concerned about that?
It's
Like,
60 feet away.
it's gonna tail off very quickly, but it's very funny to start with.
It is very funny when you go, I attack the kobold, I hit the kobold and do 14 points of damage. I'm like, well, it's a dead kobold.
It was when something survived being hit by me, I was like, ooh, that's a baddie.
Oh no. Danger zone. Alright. I've consumed nutrients, and I think Gore is feeling slightly more morally okay about the fact he just murdered 3 people.
It's not murder if it's self-defense.
No, it's aggravated manslaughter. It's a much less bad jail time.
It's not murder if you're testing your inventions, it's science.
No, it's only science if you write it down.
It's always a great situation where the barbarian is the moral compass of the party. It's a pretty good.
So there's being the moral compass, and then there's feeling bad for people who are literally trying to assassinate you when you sleep. One of those is
He'll get there. I'm sure by the end of it, he'll just walk into a room, people and murder them because they're there. You know, like a good little murder hobo. But we have to descend down the spiral before we get to the murder hobo stage.
I mean, we're entering a place that has laws in the sense that it draws a strict line between theft and robbery. But it's like, well, yeah, I mean, obviously you could rob a guy, but you'd never like thieve him. Like that would be wrong. But robbing him is fine.
it's intent that matters.
All right, just wait until we get our own little kingdom, and I start writing how the laws work and enforcing them.
What's our policies regarding the definitions between burglary and robbing?
I suspect it's going to be whatever you convince me it is.
So
I
in
know
the-
one.
You're a much wizened adventurer and clearly know more about the world than I do.
I can't wait for the 4 pages document that I send Alex, which is all about tax evasion and its avoidance in this kingdom.
So this particular region is it's colloquially known as the River Kingdom, and they have a series of what are called river freedoms.
I know these. I've written them down.
Yeah, Mara knows them because she's from one of the river kingdoms, or at least a region close by. But the basic idea is that robbing someone, as in like challenging them on the road and saying, "Give me your stuff or I'll beat you up," and they give you your stuff, that's completely fine. Because it's like, well, I mean, you couldn't hold on to your stuff, so.
The second you wear it at all.
Whereas like theft, as in like breaking into someone's house and stealing from them, that's wrong because the person doesn't have any opportunity to defend themselves.
So that's very old North.
Pretty much.
And yeah, there's a story of someone who tried to impose a toll on a river bridge, and the people of the River Kingdoms got so offended by that they burnt their kingdom to the ground.
They are the definition of chaotic neutral, yes.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So, closing in on the end of the break. Is everyone ready to go, or do you need a couple more minutes?
2 minutes to consume fudge, and then I am yours.
Give me a shout when you're ready, Luce.
Okay, so I'm quick for a bio.
Are you enjoying your time being on the controlling side of the camera, Alex?
No one told me that work was involved in planning things.
I
I'm
know, right?
deeply offended.
When you are.
Okay, so I'll be back shortly. So I'll do a description of the area around you. So from what you can gather, the servants here were caught off guard by the arrival of the assassins coming in. One of them in the servants' quarters, unfortunately, was killed while they were sleeping. And the ones in the kitchen were awake and around, but clearly no position to defend themselves. You're able to, you're able to kind of arrange the bodies in a more peaceful sense, even if you're not able to bury them. And the area of the mansion that you're in has now gone pretty quiet now. There's clearly like muffled sounds going on in other areas of the mansion, but the immediate area, is pretty quiet. The door that Gore is currently next to, it looks like it's closed. It's just a bit stuck. You think with it would only take a bit of a shove to get it open.
Everyone good and relatively alive?
I've been
Does
better.
anybody need healing before we go through?
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
A completely unharmed Mara gives you gives you the double thumbs up.
Mara and Elite just thumbs up completely unharmed.
The two half orcs should look at each other going, yes, everything is fine.
No, Gereg's looking quite like he's got like a couple of arrows sticking in, which is a point. Can I pull those arrows out and then stash them myself?
Yeah, it's a bit morbid, but you do you.
Self one.
Well, I loosed 2 arrows into the burning library, and it's like they're gone. And I've just got one sticking into some of my armor, and one that's actually stuck into me. Like,
yeah. So just for future reference, for kind of hit point totals and all that sort of thing, I run by the system of so if you're at like 75-ish% of your health, you're wounded. Half health or lower is bloodied, and then like less than 25% is like critically wounded. So it doesn't. These don't have any mechanical sense to them. It's just basically to kind of take the numbers a bit away, because it's never nice to be like, oh, this guy has 15 hit points left or whatever it is.
Can I suggest that we use, like, on our tokens, we can put a symbol on for each of those, so that way we can visually see that character is like slightly hurt, bloodied, or like on the verge of death.
That's a very good idea.
Traffic light system?
Yeah, sure, that'll work.
So yeah, green for mildly injured. Oh, immediate yellow from Generic.
Sorry, Alex, before you go to the effort of putting the tokens on, I was going to heal them both D4+1 with Cure Light Wounds, or what do you call it? The Rebuke Death, just before you put tokens on and have to take them back off immediately.
Yep.
Do you want me to roll out once for both of them, or once each?
So you're using your channel positive energy.
Granted, sorry.
So Rebuke Death, which is the life domain thing, only works if they're below 0, which is unconscious and dying. I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys, you're stuck for a bit longer then.
So you do have a thing called channel energy, which affects every creature within 30 feet of you who is living. So it's not very good in combat because obviously you'll heal all the enemies if they're living. But outside of combat, it's quite a good way of healing up if there's multiple people injured.
Gore
Yeah.
a little bit banged up, but other than that, he's actually pretty okay.
Yeah, so channeling will heal. I believe at your level it'd be 1d6 healing to everyone in a radius around you.
And you get 3 plus your charisma modifier uses of it per day.
Okay, so I'll have 5 more after this one, so everybody can heal 1.
Hooray!
Thank you and good night.
Yeah, it's that thing of like this is why it's out of combat healing. It's just like, oh, I guess I'll.
It's fine. Let's roll all the ones out of the way now, and then we're good later on.
I mean, like, if like, here's the thing, like, because we're outside of combat, if you really want to and you feel like people are still injured, you can throw another channel energy out. Like, while we're having a break in character, like, it's an action to do. It's fairly quick. I'm just giving options. I feel like I'm trying to get the table, but like, I'm just giving people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do another one. Oh, it's actually probably wiser to try and do a better one. There we go. Everybody heal about 6.
The positive energy swirls out of you like a yellow spiral that kind of infuses everyone in the immediate area.
You're probably after the first failed attempt, he sort of bangs the spiral symbol on the side of his helmet. He's like, "Come on, Phrasma, we can do better than that."
So we're like, oh, sorry, I was depressed about all the dead bodies. Never mind. Let's keep going.
If we're ready to go, Gore will put his shoulder to the door and push it open.
Yep. So the door just looks like it's caught on some carpet. It doesn't take much force at all to kind of push it open. You can see. So to the left of you, it looks like a stone staircase that's got a portcullis lowered. This particular area looks like it's clear of any people, but there's a lot of like ruffled carpets and such in indicating that people have moved through here, and a door on the other side which is open.
Or do you want me to take the lead, or
If you're happy to do so, Gore is more than happy to.
yeah,
Let me take charge.
Especially when they have a shield.
Shield comes out. Like,
I'll join you on taking point.
Okay, I will
no.
reveal the room to you.
Oh dear.
This looks like this is the main hall. So on the right hand side is the door kind of leading to the outside world, and it looks like it's been smashed inwards by something very big. And then on the other side of the room that would lead further in, a mixture of like broken door and the archway leading up to it has collapsed. There's something smashed its way through, and you see the bodies of three guards who look like they've been just mangled, and there's a layer of frost over all 3 of them.
At this point,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, at this point, Alina like looks a little bit shocked and is like actually starts to pick up the pace. Like,
so anyone who's trained in it can make a nature roll to try and determine what caused this.
Trained in nature. Let's find out.
do I have any knowledge skills? Of course not.
I am trained in nature. Oh my god.
Him too. Here we go. Gore knows nothing. He is a sweet little cinnamon bun.
It's not a spider.
Not a spider.
So Garrig and Mara kind of, between the two of them, begin to like think out loud, piecing together what's happened, and the conclusion that you reach is that a frost giant came through here.
Oh, great.
Frost giants are not even slightly native to this area, so it's more likely it was summoned in by something rather than being here naturally.
Bad. Very bad.
Interesting.
That's weird.
And Garrick, you know probably from experience that something like a frost giant is the kind of thing you bring an entire clan to fight.
This is not going to be an easy fight for us at all.
Wait, you want to fight this? Really?
Never mind.
We ever fight it, we get arrested, from what I understand. So yes, I think we have to fight it.
Bear in mind how many groups like us we saw coming into this place. It is likely it is injured by now.
True.
Are there signs of like, obviously aside from the three mangled bodies around us, is there like signs that the frost giant's been injured?
There's a lot of human blood around here. That much is obvious. There's kind of towards this impromptu kind of barricade that's been made. You can spot signs of like weapon scoring and what you're pretty sure is giant's blood. So you think the giant basically smashed down the doorway kind of just to keep moving forward, so it didn't have to deal with people anymore. So through the doorway you can see some bodies of more would-be assassins, and some of them look like they've been shot or injured by guards, and a few of them look like they have similarly also been mangled by something very big.
Realizing that this is probably an assassination attempt, Alina's like, "Oh shit, Keston," and genuinely starts running.
So this door here has been deliberately closed.
I will go through the broken door.
It doesn't look like it's going to be passable for you without kind of specialist tools and a lot of time.
Okay. Well,
they basically just collapsed it into an impassable barrier.
Yeah, seeing what looks like another soldier running towards something, Jin just immediately follows.
Okay, the door is not locked as you test the handle.
Okay.
Crossbow ready.
Do you want me to go first?
No, I'm fine.
And say I'm fairly good at stalking things.
I think anything we come across, we're probably not going to be able to get the drop on. But we'll see.
Try.
Well. Yeah, Alina's just gonna open the door. She genuinely thinks about it, but she's like, no, we probably want to go as a group just in case one person getting the drop on a frost giant not going to be as helpful.
So the door opens inwards, so you can see a little bit of the room as you open it up. So on the left over here is another set of stairs that's have the portcullis pulled down over it, and then you can catch out of the corner of your eye a series of like broken tables and chairs and miscellaneous bits of wood that have been piled up about chest high to a human. So this looks like it's been placed rather than like how the Frost Giants egress did. So it looks like someone's built this as a barricade.
Would I know from like previous experience what's this side of the estate?
Yes.
Is it more?
This section of the room lead. So you would know that this section of the room leads into the armory and guards quarters, and loops back around into the room that's blocked off by the rubble.
Okay. In which case, it's probably the quickest way through to that room. So, like, Alina will start trying to disassemble the barricades. Disassemble the barricading.
Okay. So as you step into the room,
Yep. Ah, bugger.
you are shot.
Okay.
So everyone, please roll initiative, and then there'll be a pretty quick surprise round.
I cannot roll initiative today. Jeez.
As a reminder, you need to have your token selected to get it to go into the tracker.
Yeah, so if you click to select your token, then roll initiative, it will populate it onto the order automatically.
Okay.
I'll set you to your first result.
Do I need to roll to populate? Then?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Oh, fuck's sake.
Mine doesn't seem to be coming across no matter what I click. Nope.
You are on the map.
Yeah, you're on now.
So you're on the tracker even.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so so the first round is everyone is surprised. So the bowman will take a shot at your flat-footed AC, Alina.
Oh. Yeah, that'll hit.
You take 9 piercing damage as you're caught off guard by the sudden strike. And then these guys will they move in preparation, but don't attack. Where's my tracking on? There we go. Okay, and then we will start the initiative with Jin.
Oh,
So you'll hear from inside a bow being loosed and Alina letting out a shout of pain.
It's definitely a swear word. Like.
Yep.
Can I hold action in this, or is this?
Yeah. So basically, what it would do is it will. You can say, "I'm going to delay until a certain point," and it will basically just set your initiative to that point.
Okay. I'm going to delay until after Garrick's gone through. Oh no, Garrick's not after me. It's no, I'll go in. It's fine. Shield and mace in hand, and just going through with the shield up to make sure, and I'll come in to support Alina and attack that dagger dude, I suppose.
Okay, so the barricade that's been set up, as I mentioned, is about chest high. So hitting over it's not feasible unless you have a reach weapon.
Okay.
So your options are to either try and smash it down, which will probably take a little while but can be done, or try and climb over it.
Is Lena on our side of the barricade or their side of the barricade?
On your side.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start trying to kick the barricade down. There's
Okay,
nothing else to go
so
for.
if you just do an attack roll, there won't. It's more important just what damage you do. So you take a swipe in, but the blow just glances off a chair. You think you're going to need a bit more welly than that?
I'm going to start shouting information to everybody else. There's a barricade, there's 3 guys. Get in here quick. And keep my shield up to make sure. Try and protect myself as best as possible.
So, in good or bad news, depending on your point of view, Mara, chest high to a human is over your head.
Yeah. I feel very safe, but also this is extremely inconvenient. Seeing that Jin is trying to take down the barricade, I'm going to join in the attack. Rather than trying to brute strength it, because that is not going to go well. Does it look like there are any weak points or levers, kind of like, so I can Jenga tower it?
Not particularly. No. It's basically just like a piled high series of miscellaneous wooden bits and pieces.
Alrighty then, screw that. I'm ducking into the little space behind Alina, which I think I can just about fit into. And I'm taking slingshot pot shots.
Okay, so you'll have to pretty much blind fire because they are concealed from you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not expecting to hit anyone. If I do hit, I'm not going to do any damage. But it's the thought that counts.
Let me just see how concealment works. There it is. So basically, if you can you roll a D100 for me, please?
Okay. 36.
Lovely. So you're able to arc a shot over and hit one of the people. I'm going to say, given your blind firing, you choose the target at random, which is this chap. So from the other end of the barricade, you hear just like clunk as you hit something solid, and a swear word from one of the people on the other side indicates you have hit someone.
Excellent. And I rolled maximum damage, which is 3.
Okay, that puts us over to Alina. So as I mentioned, you can either try and smash through the barricade or climb over it. Or at least climb on top of it, given that the other spaces are occupied at the minute.
Does it look like they have the same restrictions in terms of the melee people? Can they swing back at us, or?
So if you were on the barricade, yes, but they wouldn't. Yeah, they're under the same thing. They would need to climb over the barricade to hit you.
I'm gonna, as my standard action, just put a kick into the barricade and try and knock it a bit loose.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
So another 5. Let me just set an amount for this. This is 40. Oh, 1 sec. There we go. Yep, you're able to knock away some of the like outer edge of chair legs and tables, but the barricade's still sturdy for the moment.
And then, as a move action, Lena will lean sort of slightly back against the wall, pull out the arrow, and will use her maneuver training to grant her the ability to catch arrows, or deflect them even. As she looks directly at the archer, knowing that he's about to fire up. That's me done.
Okay. So, first things first, the archer is going to pick up, aim another shot at Lena. Thankfully, this time is going to be significantly more difficult to hit. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
No.
So, I use deflect arrows. If it would hit me, it doesn't.
That's very
It
lucky
just,
for you.
just ignores all of it. Like, so I think this is like it comes directly at the eye, and the fist catches it just before it hits. It's like, I don't like this archer. This archer is bad.
Yeah, whether the gods are on your side or you just got plain lucky, you snatch the arrow that probably that may well have killed you.
Ugh. Goes to hand Garrick the arrow.
And then the two gents with daggers, they duck down behind the barricade and seem to be waiting for something. Okay, go. It's your turn.
I bet that something isn't a large half-orc smashing the barricade.
Probably not.
Gore move over, realizing it's a barricade and probably reasonably easy to hit, will put maximum effort into it. So he will rage and he will power attack. Here we go. Oh my god! So that's a minimum. That is my minimum, and it's 12 damage.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the clever barricades of these puny humans is no match for sheer brute strength, and you are able to smash a hole big enough for people to get through. That's the good news. The bad news
No,
is
they were prepared for me to smash the barricade. Oh no!
so what happened is you'll finish your turn and then they'll act.
Gore is going to step out of the way because he knows there is a very competent archer stood behind him who will want to get line of sight. So Gore will stand to here, and as a free action, I will stop raging. Yeah, 2 turn cooldown. Let's go.
So these two assassins will strike.
Do we get to react?
No, so what happens is they've delayed their turn until someone got to the barricade or it smashed down.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're taking their turn. It's what they're waiting for, basically, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they will. One will attack Jin and miss, and one will attack Alina and miss. And then I'll set their initiative there as well. So I'll go like so. There we go.
Cool.
So now Garrick's turn. The barricade is down.
First things first, I'm going to send my living battering ram in.
But I've already had my turn.
Move them to
They're
the
room.
spot there where you can just about see them. I'm guessing they're okay to stand there.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had to make some compromises to this, so I'm happy for them to stand there as a stand-in for the right spot.
No worries. Naturally, they are going to they're going to use their head. Or not.
Not a hit, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it would be. So Garrick's going to move there and attempt an attack through that. So this is going to factor in this is already factoring in the -4 firing into melee.
Okay.
And +1. So that won't hit.
I'm afraid not. Any more for any more?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. Jin, good news, the barricade is down. Bad news, the
Yay.
barricade is down.
I tried to help.
I'm gonna glance at Elena. Oh yeah, that answers that question.
I was trying to work out maths. It went very long.
Fine. I will. Yeah, I'm doing really bad at hitting things, so I'm just gonna cast my cleric spell.
So
And-
just so you're aware, in Pathfinder, casting spells provokes attacks of opportunity. So you might want to 5-foot step away from them before doing that.
Is there not
Okay.
a thing for casting defensively?
Yes. So if you cast defensively, you essentially make a caster level check, which is a d20 plus your level, versus a DC of the spell you're trying to cast, which I think if it's a first level spell will be DC 11 or 12, off the top of my head. If you fail the caster level check, you do not cast the spell and you lose the spell slot.
You know what? I'll 5-foot step.
Like,
I'll 5-foot step to here, and then throw the healing spell into Elena.
Yep.
Which is D8 plus 1.
Yep.
So 6.
Okay. Wait. Yeah, that puts me at that.
Can I still move now, or is that all my whole?
So 5-foot step means you can't do any further movement.
That's fine. As long as I'm not blocking the doorway to anybody, that's okay.
So people can move through your space without any issue. So
Okay,
don't worry
cool.
about that.
That's me done then.
Okay. Mara, target rich environment. Target rich environment. Mara.
I'm actually not going to throw another bomb because I don't have that many.
Fair enough.
I am going to take a slingshot pop shot at this man, who I don't know is the same guy I hit earlier, and honestly don't care. He just looks the hurtiest.
I mean, he's bleeding from the head, so you're probably the guy you hit.
In that case, I definitely want to hit him again. Yeah.
For science.
And miss. And that would have been good damage again, sadness. And then sensing that I am very much in the way, I am going to remove myself from the way. That is not the route I intended to take. I intended to take this route.
Yeah. Okay. Now it's up to Alina.
Alina is gonna hope that other people can back her up. We'll 5-foot step here and attack the most injured one.
Okay.
14 to hit.
That's a hit, and your punch knocks them clean out.
Just looks at the guy with the knife next to her and goes, "You're next." That's me done.
Okay. Up to the battering ram.
All right. Well, let's at least make the archer's job more rubbish. So Gore's gonna go 5, 10, step through to here.
Bear in mind that provokes.
I'm still staying in range. Is it still staying in range?
That's a 5e thing.
Ah.
So in Pathfinder, any movement through threatened squares provokes.
Interesting.
Which isn't a 5-foot
there
step.
then, and I will hit that man.
Mm.
Cool. I don't think I need the power attack. I think it'll be fine. 15 to hit for 10 damage.
Oh yeah, that guy's giblets. Your axe just goes straight into his chest, and you hear like his sternum just caves inwards.
Just
that guy's not getting up.
Saying you're next as the axe appears.
He was in fact next.
Alina then just turns to the archer and goes, "And now you?" and just hopes that someone kills him before her turn.
Gore's going to walk to there, knowing that if he has to shoot his bow, it's going to get hopefully punched in the face.
Good plan, because it is now his turn.
Paul still feels very bad about all this.
So theorizing he's getting an attack of opportunity either way, he might as well try an attack. So he will raise his bow.
Cool. 19 to hit for 8 damage.
But your swing is faster. And you crunch through it and knock him into the wall.
I think shell-shocked is the expression that's on Gore's face right now. Definitely shell-shocked. Oh dear.
Oops, not that one. So this door over here is open, opens up into a corridor that appears to be clear of people. There we go. Now it's letting me do it.
Mara walks back into the corridor, looks around, and just looks at Alina and Gore and goes, "Remind me not to get on your bad sides."
I'm still concerned about how you made an elk spitfire. I think that might haunt me.
You got a haunt the elk.
Go will look at Alina and go, "You know this place better than anyone else here. Is there a bar here?"
Look, once we're done here, I will get you all the bar. Yes. Let's keep going.
So
Would you like me to take... Sorry, Alex, off you go.
Yeah, no problem. So in this corridor here, there's no people in here that you can see. This door here is closed. You know, Alina, this is the armory and like the guards' quarters. And this door here is open. This is kind of like the armory is where the guards gear up, and this room here is where they, where they sleep.
I mean, would Keston be in the barracks? Probably not.
You think that at this stage the guards would probably be up and around.
Right. In which case, I think she ignores both and continues on the way to get to the right route, which is this way, I assume.
No, so the path through the guards' quarters is how you get further in.
Okay, in which case, yeah, we'll go that way.
Before going any further, Gareg's actually going to have like a route through the remains of the attackers. Most not looking to take anything, just looking for like anything that might be symbols, like anything like logos, crests, coats of arms.
So the people that you search through, they're carrying short bows, daggers, like chain shirts and leather armor, that sort of thing. Like, pretty basic looking armor. None of these people are carrying anything that would identify them, which you suspect is intentional. So this corridor over here, as I mentioned, Alina recognizes this as the guards' quarters. On the far end of the corridor, before it turns around a corner, you see a body of one of the assassins. And there's basically like a line of burnt carpet kind of seared across where he's been.
Wizard done it.
Stop there, Alina.
Figured as much.
As you're heading through, your foot catches and breaks a tripwire. Please make a dexterity save. No, it's reflex saving throw, isn't it?
Yep. 13.
You take 1 point of fire damage as as another line is scorched into the ground where you were standing.
Be careful, there's tripwires. Just like cutting out part of the armor. Needed to test what it did. Anyone who's particularly good at spotting those things?
I've got some good eyes. And then pauses and looks at Garrick. Unless you have better eyes, you look like a very eye person. That made sense in my head.
I think the word I'm for is observant.
Or says Gore. I went to school.
It's at this point you all realise that Gareg is actually just made of eyes and has all this time just been screaming, "Be not afraid,"
Oh no.
Lord.
holding themselves up on one pair of wings, another one covering their body.
Oh no.
Um,
This is not the Pathfinder experience I promised.
so people who are checking the way, please make a perception check.
So I did offer
Um,
to take point earlier.
Oh,
so you are
How are
made
you?
of eyes.
Past, present, and future, nothing holds surprises for me.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
oh no.
So now that you know what to look for, thanks to Alina's science, you see a third tripwire along the way that looks like it's linked to a scroll on the wall.
Oh my god, it's a ninja paper bomb.
So it doesn't take much to realize that you suspect that it's a pretty minor fire spell that's kind of embedded into the scroll that activates when the tripwire is snapped. And from your results, you are very confident that that's the only remaining trap that's on this corridor.
Can we get past them but leave them up in case anybody comes up behind us?
Yeah. So your options are you can either, now that you know the tripwire is there, you can step over it pretty much without any issue. You can attempt to disarm it, or you can attempt to dismantle it, which would let you take the scroll.
Well, my suggestion is to the party that we leave them in place in case anybody tries to sneak up behind us.
Sensible.
Okay, but consider this. If I take the scroll, I can learn how to do it.
I'm not gonna lie,
If we
it
survive
wasn't
the
particularly
giant,
dangerous.
if we survive the giant, maybe take it afterwards.
Fair enough.
Right. Tiptoe over tripwire 2 and tripwire 3.
You're fairly sure this third one's already been triggered, so you can see kind of the there was something like covering over the scroll, but obviously the spell kind of burnt through it, so you can see that it's inert. Inside the rooms here, you do spot inside one of them is one of the is a body of one of the guards who basically looks like he was caught initially by surprise but went down fighting, and you can hear from where you are muffled conversation coming from this direction, and muffled fighting coming from this direction behind this closed door.
As a small point, would Taruka need to do anything special to go over the tripwire without tripping the wire?
I think with you guiding him, it wouldn't be an issue at all.
But, okay.
Mara's going to look at one of the taller people and it's like, can I get over it fine, or do I need assistance?
It's like ankle height, so you're
Okay.
able to step over it without any issue. It's kind of only if you're caught unaware would it trip.
Quite like the idea of you do like a big sort of like comic oversized step of it just to make sure that
I'll put up in a jump.
Oh,
So So as mentioned, this door kind of in front of you is shut, and there's a corridor leading down this way with 2 more doors, and two more people who look like they haven't spotted you. They are arguing amongst themselves. So as you get closer, you can hear them. It's hard to fully catch the conversation that they're having, but you hear about they seem to be searching for a vault of some kind that should be in the area here.
I'm just gonna step in and break one of their noses.
Fair enough. They are caught off guard by you. I'm gonna keep the current initiative just for ease, but you will get a surprise round as you catch them off guard. So, Alina, if you make your attack, and then we'll go with everyone else.
Okay. Oof.
Yeah, you clobber that guy straight into the door, which obviously alerts the other one. And he collapses.
Nice.
So, Jin, you catch the sounds of combat happening up ahead as Alina sucker punches someone.
I don't think there's anything sensible I can do because I did say I'd be rear guard, so I'm just going to pass for now.
Okay. Up to Mara.
1, 2, 3. Pop shot. If I can ever find the button, why are these sheets so complicated? So many tabs.
Pathfinder.
I don't like it.
Would you like a dozen extra passive things that you might need to know, but probably won't?
Oh,
Plonk. That certainly hurt him.
I'm helping.
Alina's had her turn. Gore.
Gore's starting to feel kind of bad about just murdering all these people. But they are baddies, but maybe keeping one alive might be a good idea. So he's going to step through into the room, purposely sort of turn his axe sideways and just use it as a big lump of metal. Is it an attempt to hit him non-lethally, if such a thing exists in this game?
Sure.
It does. So to do non-lethal with a lethal weapon, it's a -40 or attack roll.
Cool. I'll just roll a d20 and see what happens. 12 to hit.
He manages to duck over your hit as you're noticeably slower swinging with the flatter side of the axe.
I would look at him and go, mate, just fall over. Like, I'm trying to help you here. I've already killed like 6 people. This is really not the day I imagined it was going to be. And then just looks towards Alina, who I assume is sort of cracking her knuckles ready for the next round.
Like Alina's like you turn to Alina, who's stomping on the guy on the ground, like what?
Garrick, you have a chance to move before this guy reacts.
Need you to get gored by a deer.
It's going to say, do I send the elk in first?
It's
you.
well, right?
I'm just here to react to your actions.
I'm going to move into the room
Mhm.
to that spot, and I'm going to just I'm going to attempt intimidation on him. I'm going to demoralize him first because I can't actually do proper like intimidation in combat. So proper just sort of like walking, arrow and bow sort of at full stretch, just glaring at him with piercing yellowish eyes, just sort of like drop weapons, give up now.
Okay, make your check for me.
There we go.
Oh yeah, you are scaring this person.
So that'll have him shaken for however many rounds, like
Yep.
1 round plus 1 round per every 5 I'll beat the DC by.
So another 2 rounds.
Cool.
On his turn, he very loudly and obviously play acts dying. It is completely unconvincing. But he does, like, he makes a show of, like, dropping his dagger and falling over. Like, oh, you got me.
Sorry, did the elk not get to go?
Oh, sorry, yes. What is Taruka doing?
I won't call Taruka in, just to keep things simple for him for now.
Crazy.
There are only dead people nearby. Oh no!
Gonna sort of like walk around and start nuzzling one of the corpses on the ground, just kind of have a sniff.
Dear.
Sorry, you're getting your deer to nuzzle a dead corpse. It's getting a bit too
I'm not
manly for
telling
me.
him to do that. Taruka's doing that by himself. He's just like, the hell is this thing?
Yeah, it's like nudging it, like, what is this?
He's an inquisitive boy. He's a growing boy. He needs to learn the world around him.
So yes, he has fallen over and is very clearly not dead, but is trying his best to pretend that he is.
Is he Paul Rubens' death scene in Buffy the Vampire Slayer level of overacting?
Yeah, it is extraordinarily obvious that he's only mildly injured.
Excellent.
So I will leave you a turn to react to this. So Jin is up next.
I'm just going to carefully make my way up here so I can see through both doors. See that the rest of the team are fine, and just pass turn again.
Okay. Mara?
Mara just looks at the obviously faking it guy, decides that it really isn't worth the effort, and just leaves him to it.
Okay, Alina?
Yeah, Alina's going to move up and then non-lethally punch him because I'm a brawler and can do it non-lethally. I've just been choosing the path of violence.
That's fair enough.
Would you like me to roll?
I will let you do the non-lethal equivalent of a coup de grace because he is obviously helpless.
Yeah.
So you clunk him across the head with an elbow, and he drops actually unconscious.
I'm giving him acting lessons. like genuinely, Alina says that directly to Gore. It's like, he'll be fine. He'll wake up in a few hours.
Mara just pipes off in the back. Hold his hand up above his face and let go. If it magically drifts off to the side, he's faking it. If it hits him in the face, he's unconscious.
I look at his burgeoning black eye and I'm like, no, he's unconscious.
Reach
Oh,
over.
right,
It does not require medical training to know that this guy's out for the count.
Go over and sort of like with one hand just pick the guy up. I'm assuming that's like a bedroom, like he was stood in front of.
Not quite actually. These are quite like almost strangely normal looking doors. And Alina, you don't actually know what these doors lead to.
I'm thinking we're probably in some sort of weird secret noble bullshit here, so probably want to just leave him
Well, I was-
tied up.
There is another closed door over here once I reveal it. There it is.
well, in which case then, Gore will go into his pack and will unhook the easily reachable piece of rope because someone with a brain actually had put his pack together for him. And sort of look at Gareg and sort of gesture with the rope because Gore doesn't really know what he's doing with rope. Assuming that you know how to tie a decent knot.
Do I, for that matter? What would I need to do to tie a rope? Because Pathfinder doesn't have the use rope skill that 3.5 has.
I think like you would know enough to be able to just tie a knot that you're pretty sure they're not going to break out of without at least some help.
Fair enough. Like, we keep him for answers.
I will mark off my pack as now lighter.
So you have a series of 4 doors around you, all of which are currently shut.
We heard muffled sounds of combat through here. We haven't heard anything through back there.
Yeah.
I thought it was through here.
Yeah, it was the door here.
That is the way which leads round to where the ice giant was, right?
Yep.
We think.
Do you want to check these rooms anyway, just in case? There are
Yeah, we
people
don't want
who
to
might
bring up.
then be shown the way out.
I think we should probably just deal with the thing while we're fresh, and it's still fighting something, so we might actually be in time to save someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay, which door are you opening?
Do I know if these both lead into the same room?
Yes, yeah.
In which case, Alina will be like, they both lead into the same room. Do we want to go from different angles?
Gore will offer to move down to the lower door.
I reckon coordinate both doors at once.
That way we can have someone who's ranged and someone who's melee in both doors, and that way we have less chance of like
So Garag
being packed up.
moves down to the second door and obviously has Taruka there to back up Gore.
I'll go up with Elena then.
Right.
Okay. Just say when.
When?
Okay, so you open both doors up. They both lead into different parts of the same room.
Okay.
So you
The
see
good news is I found the people who are defending.
We hope.
So as you open the doors, you can see Keston and 2 guards who have kind of rallied and are fully dressed. They were fighting a group of another group of assassins, but basically by the time you've opened the door, Keston and the guards have finished them off. You see Keston like swing the last blow that takes out the last one, kind of as you open up the doors. So from here, you can see. So the main door that would lead back into the kind of big dining hall area that you were in earlier is similarly blocked off by a series of like rubble and broken door, and smoke is coming out of this room over here, which Alina, you know, is another route round. And then down here is an open door to a storage room.
Liz just gonna walk in and be like, "Oh, hey, Keston. I've come to save you."
Keston is like full-on business mode at this point. So he starts barking orders to the other guards. It's like, you get some more water. You get these fires under control. And then, kind of after a few seconds, notices you.
So apparently there's a giant somewhere in the house.
Yes, it looks like whoever's behind this has summoned in help. They've set fires through the mansion to slow us down. The only route through that will get you there is through this way, but to the room with smoke coming out of it. And says we've controlled most of the fire. You're just going to have to be wary of breathing in the smoke. And we'll follow behind you as soon as we've got the fires under control.
Do they look injured?
Hang on a second. Let me check a thing.
Okay.
I mean, do they look injured? That's actually a question. Like,
They look tired, but not obviously injured.
Alex,
Yes.
I know that my bombs can give the fire belly spell to people I light.
Yes.
And I know that as part of that, we get a certain level of fire resistance. Do I think that would be useful for the upcoming situation? Or is smoke inhalation a different issue?
It would certainly help you. I will put it that way.
Mara sort of gestures everybody to gather round her.
Okay.
Like, come on, everyone, come.
Alina's like dipping like a scarf in water, like what?
I take the third of my 4 bombs and I smash it at my own feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I just let everyone know, if you actually breathe the fire, the spell wears off. So like, just don't do that. Now we have a minute. We should probably run now.
I run.
I also run, and I'm probably faster than you.
No, I think we're the same speed initially.
40 feet?
No. You did that. Level 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so
One significantly slower.
so heading through into the room together, we're going to do a nice little group challenge. So quickly, the way this will work is everyone will roll the check. I will then take the average of those rolls and compare that against the DC. DC is going to be a bit lower because you have made preparations. And then if you pass the roll, regardless of whether or not the party fails, you will be fine. As you're basically you're pushing through as quickly as you can, kind of pushing yourself to clear aside debris, bits that are still embering, and avoid breathing in the smoke. So everyone needs to make an athletics check for me, please.
I don't see athletics.
What would be the skill then?
Depend.
So there's climb.
If you're representing like physical exertion, it might technically be a CMB, but because that's used for stuff like grappling and like pushing things.
Let's go with fortitude saves.
That makes sense.
Hang on, I just need to check something.
I put the wet scarf on the wrong way around. Good news, there's no smoke in my lungs. Bad news, it's water.
Cool. So, because I imagine Gore is sort of like taking the lead on this to try and push through and get the brunt out of the way, Gore will rage because it gives me a +2 bonus to fortitude saving throws.
Nope.
And will just try and sort of barrel his way through using himself as the battering ram.
Can you make a roll for Taruka as well, please?
Oh, yeah.
I'll mark off another use of rage.
6. So I'm pretty sure you'll pass, but just to check the maths. Oh yeah. So Alina stumbles a bit as the scarf doesn't quite prepare her for the kind of heat that's radiating off. some of the ember spots, but between you, you're able to kind of pick yourselves up and push through, and push through to a room that's not nearly as smoke damaged. Come on.
Good job, everyone who's not me.
So you push through to a door that you know leads back into the dining hall, where you can hear the sounds of heavy combat.
Out of interest, James, how low are you running on rage rounds?
I have 5 rounds left. So I took the what's it called? People told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. I took the Berserker of a Society trait, so it gives me plus 3 rages today, which means I start at 9 rages at level 1.
Yep, it's pretty good.
Because I noticed that rage doesn't really go up when you level.
Yeah, you get 2 extra per level. It's not much, I'll admit.
Oh, it's 2 more per level. Yeah, so I just kind of figured having 9 at the start is pretty useful.
Yeah, not wrong.
Okay. So let me know when you're ready, and I'll move you through to back to the dining room.
Okay.
All right.
I think I've got everything here, so we'll shift you over.
Oh boy.
So you enter into a side door leading into the dining hall, kind of like a slightly darkened area. The combat that you can see is from Jamandi, who is wielding a dueling sword and fighting the frost giant. She is kind of surrounded by a magical barrier of some kind. And you spot 3 more people with daggers, 2 with bows. These 3 wizard types look like they are focusing intently on maintaining the barrier. And there's another person at the front who looks noticeably different from the people you've been fighting before, and seems to be commanding them.
I mean, I'm gonna charge unless anyone tries to stop me.
No, I think this is definitely in time, isn't it?
Okay,
Yeah.
so rushing into combat will be a case of just flatly rolling initiative, because you won't catch them by surprise.
What is my initiative rolls? I have +5 on this, and the highest I've got is 11.
Oh, it must be nice. Oh, look at that.
I took improved initiative as well. So.
Dag of ages past. Also, I appreciate the fact that they had multiple assassins, the leader, and multiple wizards. And they're like, no. She duels the giant. We're just locking her in a cage.
I do really love that. I do love how 1980s that Frost Giant token is.
The last one is...
I know what's up. Oh, is that Frost Giant got a mohawk? They do.
Amazing. And spiked pauldrons. You just don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Back spike pauldrons. That's what I.
Real talk, chat. When was the last time you saw spiked pauldrons? It's been too long. We need to bring them back.
I mean, Hero Forge has an option for them.
Who popularised the spiked pauldrons?
I deeply suspect as this campaign progresses, I'm going to have to keep re-updating the model for Gore. when he becomes Conan, he'll have less clothes on, or if he goes down the sort of angry barbarian route, he might just have nothing but spiked pauldrons and maybe like a battle harness.
No, just head to toe, spiked pauldrons.
My God. Oh wow. Yeah, I appreciate the consistency of the initiative rolls from the monsters.
Dear.
Jesus.
They do look like they're more disciplined, with someone actively around to keep an eye on them.
Them.
And
Which one
I've
was
got-
like their supervisor?
That one I assume.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gore
got-
should work out if he should do what Mummy said, which is kill the wizards first. But then he remembered his dad's a wizard, and maybe he shouldn't be taking that advice too literally.
I love how your mum's like, yeah, kill the wizards first, and your dad's there like, what? It's like, nothing,
Not
dear,
you, dear.
nothing.
Nothing, dear. Everything's fine. Kill them first.
so
Insist on the divorce. What?
So as you rush in, the leader calls out first to the people maintaining the barrier and says, "Hold up the barrier," and then points towards you and says, "No one leaves this mansion alive." He has a very noticeable accent as he says this.
A noticeable accent.
Yes,
Oh.
Mara, you recognise it's a Pataxian accent.
Excellent.
See,
That Mara doesn't mean a lot to me. Sorry.
It's basically one of the major cities in the River Kingdoms. It's one of your kind of neighbours when you were living in the area.
stupid Pataxia ruining the River Kingdoms.
So we'll start off with Jin.
Okay. I am going to move. I was going to hide behind the table, and then realized there's big stone pillars, so they're probably more solid. I'm going to hide behind this pillar, and is the lead wizard dude in range? I'm going to make sure I am within range of it.
Probably 35 feet is enough for a crossbow shot.
Yeah, a light crossbow is 80.
Cool. I'll just take a shot at him then.
Okay.
I mean, 11 probably won't confirm, but
It will not, but you do hit him.
So what damage is that? Just the one?
Unfortunately, yes.
Who earned?
the downside to crossbows.
Yeah, the crossbow basically like shears past his shoulder and cuts into it briefly.
I
And
object
then
dying today.
it hits into the barrier, which reacts as though it's a solid object.
Some kind of wall. They've forced.
I have an
That's
idea.
what I call that spell.
Gore will sort of look to everyone and say, I have an idea. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to there. As he leaves a space, he will like unclip his backpack, and suddenly he looks like he can move a lot faster. So, once again, we're going for precision rather than damage, because I need this to work. Oh no,
Sadly, not a hit.
sadness. All right, well he's going to provoke an attack opportunity anyway,
Okie dokie.
and keep on moving. Nope.
Swings wide.
Go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Days.
So the wizards who are maintaining the barrier look like they are requiring all of their attention focused on the barrier. Just for reference. So first it's Dagger Boys. So they're going to... One moves up to here. One moves to here.
Cool.
And one's going to rush forward. So got 2 swings at Gore.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Okay, and an attack at Jin.
Do I get any benefit?
Non-natural 20.
No, that hits.
So it will just be 1 point of piercing damage.
Okay.
Your armor seems to take the most of it. Then it's the archers. So this one's going to 5-foot step away.
Always made a mistake.
One will shoot a gore, and the other one's going to arc a shot across to at Taruka.
They will both be taking -4 because they're both in combat. Well, within 5 foot of it.
So one will miss. Does a 13 hit Taruka?
No.
Yeah, manages to duck behind the raised platform just in time. The leader of the group is he's going to step back towards the barrier, and then he will cast a spell that causes about 5 or 6 images of him to appear in his area.
He felt threatened.
Just make sure I've got the right one. So two more variants of him seem to appear, and basically the shifting in between them makes it difficult to tell which one is actually him. So I will mark that as that. Okay, and that's everyone's turn. Garrick, it is your turn.
Garreg is going to mutter something and make some gestures with his hands and call down divine favor upon himself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a +1 bonus, luck bonus on attack rolls for 1 minute.
Yep.
That's 10 rounds. And then I'm going to point at Taruka and send them to charge the lead mage.
Okay, so just 2 notes. He will provoke an attack of opportunity to do that, and he won't be able to charge. He'll be able to move and attack.
Okay, sure.
Just because charging needs a straight line.
Yeah, so there's not really a... Is there?
So this guy will take a swing and miss horribly.
Do I provoke another one from this guy?
Um,
You get one against...
no,
Yeah,
you'll be able to take a route that that gets you through.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe your attacks. Okay, so you can take a swing at him. That will hit him, so we'll see if it hits an image. You do.
So I hit an image.
No, you hit him.
Nice.
And it looks like he is moderately injured from that.
Cool.
Okay, and then it's up to Alina.
Alina looks at Mara and is like, I guess we should try and help. I'm gonna go help Gore, and just gonna sprint up and I guess provoke from... Oh wait, this guy's already used his attack of opportunity, so
Yes.
I'm gonna run in, charge the one which dared hit my new best friend Gore, the cinnamonist of rolls. Sucker punch the guy.
And he goes down.
Don't worry, Gore, I'm here to help.
So just keep in mind, it's currently 3:20. We should be wrapping this up hopefully soon, but we may overrun just a little bit. But hopefully not by very much.
Gore appreciates the help, and he realised that if he did what he did last turn incorrectly, but it's okay. He should have just ran past the guy and punched the wizard before he cast a spell. That was a mistake.
Okay, it is your turn, Mara.
Once again, Mara only has little legs. Going to skirt the sides of the room for now. Move 1, 2, 3, 4, which is my full movement capacity. And is going to shoot a slingshot. Probably I have 50-foot range on my slingshot. How far away is the thing?
That's most of the room.
I'm going to shoot my slingshot at the nasty. Actually, no. I'll slingshot the nasty knife man threatening our healer because that feels more important. Gore can take a hit. Sorry,
So-
that's a very long time to shoot.
You will take a -4 on that attack.
Oh yeah, because melee. Fair enough. Don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't.
That will just hit him.
Did not fuck up.
Clunk. Okay, and then over to Jin.
I assume I'm just gonna have to flat punch this guy because I haven't got time to pull my mace out or anything, so it's just a base attack.
I mean,
what you can do is drop your crossbow and then draw your mace.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just hit him with my mace then.
Yep, that's a hit. That will
Bonk.
leave him pretty close to dead.
I'm happy where I'm standing, so that's fine for me.
Okay, over to Gore.
Okay. All right. Realizing that we want to try and end this quickly, Gore is going to enter a rage. And is going to attack this one here. We'll again go for precision. 15 to hit for 9 damage.
And he goes down.
Cool. You're currently threatening that guy with the elk, so I'm going to stand next to these two archers and continue to make their lives miserable.
I mean, so here's the thing, right? You know it's their turn next. They can just 5-foot step away from you. Like, it'll break them up, but like you should go for the thing that you want to kill desperately.
All right, wizard. There we go.
Okay, so this guy will
Behind his back.
step here and then attack Jin.
Yeah.
Nothing if not consistent, this one.
Yeah.
For 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then the bowmen are both going to aim shots at Gore.
That's good.
Might hit me because I'm in combat.
Is very true. Oops, that's a 10, not a 20.
Nope.
And then last but not least is this gent. He is going to. He draws out a bottle of something from inside his robes and aims to throw it into this square here.
Do I get an attack opportunity against him?
You do,
Excellent.
as well as Taruka.
Gore will channel his mother's positive energy through himself and will go for a big smash.
So you're aware, James, you can only choose to power attack on your turn.
Ah,
And it affects all attacks until your next turn.
interesting. Good to know. Oh, that doesn't hit.
So those strikes will both miss, I'm afraid.
Boo.
The bottle smashes and an acidic substance bursts out of it. So can you all make so Alina, Taruka, and Gore, can you all make reflex saves for me, please?
Yes.
An attempt.
Wow. Oh.
Gore is not agile. And don't rage because any bonuses to dex to reflex.
So Garrick and Alina, you both take 1 point of acid damage. Gore, you take 3.
Oh no, my temporary hit points.
And then it is Garrick's turn. Oh, sorry, there is one thing to mention. So as Gore is acting, you can hear Keston's voice from back the way you came, and the sound of like approaching people in heavy armor.
Okay.
How's the fight doing in the middle, by the way?
It's basically a case of a contest of strength versus speed. The frost giant is obviously big and dangerous, but you can see that Jamandi's sword has ignited, and she is giving a good fight, basically ducking underneath this giant's blows and hacking away at his legs. Okay, so now up to Garrick.
So I'm going to do something crazy and attempt to acrobatics my way away from Knifey Boy there.
Sure.
Over this way. So I move at half speed. That's against his
CMD, it'd be.
Yeah. Their CMD.
So you're exactly on. So is that a pass or a fail?
Meets it, beats it.
Okay. Yep. You're able to dodge past him then.
Cool. Let's go here. And I'm going to I'm okay to go there instead.
Yep.
Yep. So that then puts me within 30 foot of this guy. So I'm going to attempt to ping him.
That's it.
Cool. That'll be +1 damage on that for point blank.
That leaves him badly wounded.
Cool. And then I'm going to have Taruka nut the mage again. Nope.
Too confused by the dancing images. Okay. That puts us up to Alina.
Do I still have the effects of Fire Belly from Mara?
I believe so, yes. It lasts for a minute, I think.
It lasts for a minute. Every time you breathe fire, the spell duration is reduced by a minute. So if you use it, it ends.
So it's a 15-foot cone?
That sounds about right, yeah.
So I think if I 5-foot step to here, I can breathe on both the concentrating wizards and, yeah, probably just both concentrating wizards because he's a little bit in the way.
Sure. I'll not even let them make saves because they're completely focused. So just roll your damage. So 1d4.
Is this a good idea? Probably not. And then
You see like a noticeable waver in the barrier as you hit them, but then it resumes.
and then as a move action, I will give myself a feat, which I will work out what it is. I'm
No
going to say
problem.
it's dodge. Dodge is a really easy feat to remember. That's me done.
Okay, Mara.
Alina had the exact same idea that I did. I would like to move 1, 2, 3. From here, can I hit the wizards and the head honcho without getting Taruka and
Yeah, that sounds right.
excellent? I would like to breathe fire on those.
Okay, make your roll.
Woo!
Nice.
Toasty.
That badly injures these two wizards here. And crosses this guy over. There we go. Again, the barrier wobbles a bit more fervently this time. Anything else, Mara?
No, that's all I got. I'm just going to stand here and hope they don't hit me.
Okay, Jin.
I also had the same idea as Alina. I'm just sort of grin at the guy who's trying to stab me, take a deep breath in, and blow fire straight in his face.
Okay.
That moment where the entire party's like, wait a minute, we have superpowers.
That's why I reminded you all at the start of combat.
You may still get him, but you will have to be lucky.
D4?
Yep. He goes down.
Woo!
Fate is on your side.
The last of the Daghekins.
Can I still take a move then? And I'll move this pillar.
Okay, so after your turn, Jin, the door behind you bursts open and Keston and the guards rush in. They only get to there before they have to stop. They look like they're kind of a little bit winded, but they'll be ready to go next time around. So let's okay. While I'll fiddle with things behind the scenes, it is Gore's turn.
Gore, fire breath.
Quick, go fire breath and finish off these two wizards.
Gore will follow as he's been instructed and breathe fire in that direction. Gore doesn't quite understand what's going on. He was ready to punch that wizard, but like, okay, fire. Like this, right? And he will sort of breathe in and do an almighty breath of fire. And I'll roll d4 and see how it happens. So I'm aiming to get at least these two. If I can get him as well, it'd be great.
So these two guys drop dead. And the barrier kind of like physically like wavers in and out of reality for a moment before kind of re-establishing itself. And this guy takes the brunt of that one. Okay,
Like,
anything
I'll
else?
cast mirror image, so it's harder for you to hit me in melee. And we're all like, we breathe fire now.
That's all we do. We just breathe fire. Yeah, I got nothing else at work. I will maintain raging.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah, the archers are both going to aim shots over at Gore.
That's reasonable. I would have in their case. Nope.
But they are luck is not on their side.
Quite the frantic, the fact that everybody they're attacking is breathing fire at things. So
So he's going to make. So the leader of the wizard puts both of his hands together and attempts to cast, but the kind of threat of Gore raising his weapon causes him to jerk backwards, and the spell dissipates without doing anything.
Grr.
Does he still open himself up to an attack of opportunity by casting?
He does not.
I think
Yeah,
you
if
can
you-
attack defensively.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, casting defensively is basically either the spell fails and nothing happens, or you cast without triggering an attack of opportunity. It's kind of the risk you take. So it is Garrick's turn.
Cool. I'm going to do a twofer, if that's all right.
Okay.
Going to have Gereg move to here, and Taruka take a 5-foot step there. And just pincer movement, fire breath
Oh, I like it.
Wow.
on the two, both of us going for the 2 archers.
Yep.
So, do you want me to roll damage, the 2 damage separately, or
Um,
roll 2d4?
hang on, let me just roll all of them. So it's yeah, just roll 2d4 because it looks like only one of them gets halved.
Okay.
So this one will take 3 and drop. He is knocked unconscious, but not dead.
Just had a thought. Does anybody have their fire breath still left?
no, that was it.
Balls. I'm just thinking about what's going to happen if this barrier drops and that frost giant's still still a target.
A big power attack might help.
Mara
Yeah,
said
but
you
thinking fire breath on a frost giant.
Mara, you've one more of those potions, right? You've used 3 of them.
I do, but I don't know if we'll need to do anything else today.
Okay.
You know what? Never mind. This feels like the bigger priority.
This feels like the big fight. I mean,
Over to you, Alina.
is this like a daily occurrence for everyone else?
Alina's just going to move around here and then beat the shit out of a nerd. Stupid nerds. Join here.
I think you should like hit them with a book.
In fact, I'm a charge just to prove a point that I'm not a nerd like them. That's a 14 to hit for 7 damage.
They are. Where are you?
Slap them against their own barrier.
Yeah, literally just like they're like trying to keep it in physical reality and just smack their head against it.
Like a full-on hockey charge.
You do actually hit him.
So is this high school bully throwing the nerd into the locker kind of thing?
Yeah, 100%.
Again, when the barrier wavers this time, it's as though it's like barely hanging on.
That is my turn.
Okay, up to Mara.
I would like to slingshot the last wizard.
Okay.
I know that this will be at -4 because melee.
Mm-hmm.
Sling, don't fail me now.
Truly the weakness of wizards. Flying rocks.
Sling did not fail me now.
So as the last channeler drops, the shield wavers and just it lets out like a colourful burst of magic as it disappears entirely. The giant is distracted by this long enough for Jamani to jump forwards, leaping up to the giant's head and ramming her dueling sword straight through the creature's eye.
Well, that'll get its attention.
Boom.
And she just like follows the momentum, bringing the giant down.
Don't mess with a person who can use an outdoory dueling sword. They're badass.
Or I hope you're writing this down.
Okay, and it's now Jin's turn.
Oh, that's me. I have my mace out, so I'm just gonna walk up and attack this boyo.
Okay.
And hope I get a decent roll for change.
Sadly not.
Wait a minute, this isn't the mace, this is the feather duster. What am I doing? Sure.
Okay, up to go.
Gore is going to attempt to finish him. Knowing the fact there are multiple of them, he's not quite sure what to do, but he's going to take his axe and swing through as many as possible and see what happens as he goes for a big power attack.
Good plan.
20 to hit.
Ooh!
That's it. You cleave straight through a mirror image.
Oh
It
well.
was an illusion.
Oh well. That wasn't even a good damage roll. That's a shame. I will continue raging.
Okay, and then after Gore's turn, from the corner back, you hear Keston shout out, "Pathfinder's ready! Goose!" And two bolts rush past Tarika and Garrig and pierce into the remaining bowman, taking him down. Mage at this stage going to make a break for it. He withdraws, so it doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity, but runs. Gets to here. Garrick.
Ooh.
He got out of combat long enough for Garrick to shoot him.
Actually, yeah. You know, he's just made himself a viable target. Let's see, how far away is he? Oh, you little bastard.
You can move.
I can move, so I'm gonna step there and take a ping at him.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
You strike him in the leg as he runs, and he drops to the ground.
What do you get?
Similar to the other archer, he's knocked unconscious but not dead.
Gonna have Taruka take 5-foot step and attempt to gore the remaining archer.
That actually unconscious, just so you're aware.
Yeah, it's a coup de grace, so he just dies. There's just a whimper as
I mean, we
as
have
Taruka bites into him.
We have case evidence that they do pretend to be dead.
I don't think he was.
Okay,
We've still got that dude tied up.
quick round for Alina.
I
mean,
move up, essentially just checking he's unconscious, doing the grapple, like hands behind back, tying him up.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, at that point, the
Thank you.
person's no longer a threat. So, I will drop us out of order.
I will stop raging and require a sit down for a minute.
Shamandi sheaths her sword, which the fire kind of goes out as quickly as it started when she does that. Takes a breath, looks over and says, "Looks like I made the right choice in choosing adventurers. Thank you."
You're welcome.
She then turns her attention to Keston and the guards as they walk up, and she says, Keston says in a kind of flat tone. All clear, my lord. So Jamandi looks over each of you and says, "You've done me a service, and I won't forget that. But we're going to need to rebuild and investigate what happened here. I recommend you take the supplies that we've given you and set off now. You should be able to reach Oleg's training point before the end of the day. As long as you set off immediately. We'll send word as soon as we find out any information on who is responsible for this attack." And
Okay.
again,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
City of Rostov owes you a debt. So, as things calm down, more and more guards and soldiers kind of start heading through the place and moving bodies around, things like that. And kind of gather up the people that you had tied up and left unconscious, leaving you a free path to head out of the mansion and take your first steps out of the city and towards Oleg's trading post.
Hey.
Get going on an adventure.
I've killed so many people.
It's okay.
There,
So
there. You're
many
getting
people
forward.
dead.
So
Just staring at his bloodied axe.
Okay, so that was the prologue adventure for Kingmaker, all done and dusted. So you will each level up to level 2 as a result of your wanton murder spree. And
Some self-defense.
so, as I mentioned, the basic plan is for sessions to run on the second Saturday of every month, unless something comes up, in which case we can rearrange stuff to still work in the month. But that's the plan for sessions, and just let me know if that ever changes. That means that the session 1 is going to be on the 9th of April. I'm going to start getting things ready to advertise for that. Get in touch with Gender Intelligence, the charity that we're going to be supporting, and get things going, set up for charity things. But I appreciate we're a little bit over time now, so I'm going to say, if there was anyone in chat, I didn't advertise this because I wanted people to get used to being on stream before people start watching. But people who are here, thank you very much. We will hopefully see you. I'm not sure when the next games are going to be running. But the session 1 of Kingmaker will be on the 9th of April. Keep an eye out on the Assembled Adventurers social media. We'll advertise other streams that are coming up as they go, and hopefully we'll see you on the 9th. Thank you very much for everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you over in April.
Woo!
you won.